DC Intergalactic Soul, the Honorable Brother, the Revolutionary yourself, Darius Lockhart, and I'm here to tell you to watch Powerbombshells every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern on the Fight Game Media YouTube channel. That's right, every Sunday at 1 p.m., and that's on time, every time, because when we stand together, what time is it? That's right, it's nation time.
Welcome to Powerbombshells, episode 200. I'm Mel. That's Sam. That's Keela Cash, the official broad. And we're just three broads here talking about the wrestling we like for the 200th time. What's up, ladies?
Happy 200 episodes. Thank you to you guys in the chat if you've been here all 200 episodes, if you've been here one episode, if you've been here somewhere in between. We appreciate you being here because otherwise we'd just be talking to ourselves, which, you know, is not a bad thing. Like, I enjoy talking to Mel and Keela, but it's just, you guys are the reason that we're here and have made it 200 episodes and, you know, come chat with us every week and watch our replays or check us out on Spotify. So we really appreciate you guys being here for 200 episodes. Yay. Thank you.
What's up, Keela? Welcome back.
Hi, good to be back. Congratulations on episode 200. I would not miss it for the world. I have sacrificed puppies and the Olympics and the Super Bowl to be here today.
That means so much to us, Keela. Yeah. Truly.
I mean,
especially the puppy bowl.
You know, 3 solid hours of puppy bowl, and she has chosen us, and that we appreciate it.
Yes, the puppies are on a delay, but I will get to them later.
Yeah, okay, well, we appreciate that.
You got to record them puppies.
And then, and it is also, obviously, for some of you, it is Super Bowl Sunday. So this is also not only our 200th episode, but this is actually the Super Bowl pre-show. It is also, well, this comment, it is also more, maybe for some people, more importantly, the Bad Bunny pre-show.
Yes, yes, yes.
Bad Bunny has to follow us.
Please, 100%, it is that. Yes.
And I am still.
I wish I spoke more Spanish and that I wouldn't butcher the language, because I would do the whole episode in Spanish and just answer you guys in Spanish, just because it makes people big mad.
It does make them big mad. And I have said it for weeks. I've said it since Bad Bunny was announced, and I'm going to continue to say it. I really hope Bad Bunny pulls out a destroyer in his concert today at the football game. I wish, you know how they put bets like on everything in the Super Bowl? I wonder if there's like a thing. Is there a prop bet for if Bad Bunny is going to do a destroyer in the halftime show?
On Dominic Mysterio. That has to be who it's on. On Dominic.
Yes. And so actually, so we if you follow us on social media, you've noticed that we've teased some surprises. Obviously, Keela is a huge surprise, but we also have another surprise. And joining us right now is the man, the myth, the legend, Garrett Gonzalez, who put us together. Welcome,
Hello.
GG, to the show.
Wait, I get to be on with Keela? This is exciting. I just wanted to come on here to celebrate you all. Like 200 episodes is kind of crazy. I mean, I have done some like really long standing podcasts, so I know what it takes to do like 200 weeks of podcasts. But like I think I told Sam, like literally when you guys started, like most podcasts flame out like before 6 months is up, because it's just hard work and it's consistency and it's just wanting to do it. And so this is awesome. And I love having this show on this channel. I was talking to somebody the other day who was like, somebody who I had collaborated with, and they were trying to explain our viewership and on our channel, because we're pretty small, like compared to like a lot of these big channels. And and they were trying to like put us in this box, and I was like, no, like we don't fit in any of these boxes. Like we have some very wrestling observer-ish kind of shows. We also have stuff that looks nothing like what is on the Wrestling Observer Network. And this is one of those shows that looks nothing like a lot of the wrestling shows that are out there. So that is like one of the things that about the tandems that we have put together, much like Keela and Salty Scott. There isn't another show like that on a network that I see, on a YouTube channel that I see. So I just love the fact that we have this show. It's so different. It's so engaging. It does the most live views on any show. You guys have been so consistent on Saturdays, and then Saturdays and Sundays because of the AEW shows. And you put your heart into it, and that's what's amazing. So I think this is, however many shows you all want to do, if you want to come back in another 200 shows and we do this, like, you get.
Yeah.
Thank
That
you.
means I get to know Sam for another 200 episodes.
Yeah. All right.
Too many destroyers can happen in 200 episodes. A lot.
But thank you, Garrett, really for the kind words, because it is podcasting can be a lot of work, and when you have in real life things going on, sometimes it's hard to balance the two. But also, it is an escape too, just like wrestling is, and it's definitely like I always look forward to speaking to Mel every week. And some mornings I'm like, I just don't really feel like talking about wrestling, and then I'm like, you know what? But I get to talk to Mel, and I get to talk to people in the chat, and then usually by the end, like halfway through the show, I'm like, why was I not feeling it today? Because I'm glad I'm here, because I always enjoy. We have a really great group of people that come talk to us every week, and even just watch us and on replays and stuff like that. So we've been fortunate to grow a really nice community. Who actually want to hear our opinions, or they will tweet us during the week and be like, I can't wait to hear what you have to say about this on Sunday, which still blows my mind that people are like, I can't wait to talk to you about this. I can't wait to see what your opinions are. Or they'll tell us about their opinions, and then we'll just have conversations just during the week about it too, which is still incredible that happens. And so we thank you for giving us this platform to do that, because we are actually, obviously 200 episodes is a big milestone, but at the end of the month we'll be celebrating our 4-year anniversary too, which is crazy.
There's a term that is used a lot in just in media, and the idea of being unapologetic about doing something. And this is just wrestling, right? Like, this is
right.
this isn't like society. This isn't necessarily a culture show, though there are pieces of that. And the fact that you three are on here is kind of why I started thinking about this, which is, even though it's just about wrestling, we can talk about it in a very thoughtful and engaging way. It doesn't only have to be, this is fake, let me close my ears and close my eyes and just enjoy wrestling. No, there's other things involved. Bad Bunny, you mentioned Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny has worked for WWE before.
Mm-hmm.
WWE is owned by TKO, who leans very heavily into the current administration. And so you have Bad Bunny basically saying, what is happening in this world right now in the US is wrong. Mm-hmm. And Donald Trump saying, well, I'm not going to be part of this Super Bowl. I don't even want to watch it because of Bad Bunny. Mm-hmm. And yet Bad Bunny has done shows with WWE. So there is a cross section of politics and society in wrestling. And to say that, I don't want to hear about that stuff, I just want to hear about fake wrestling, that misses the point of having podcasts, right? So the fact that all of y'all have an opinion about this and have a very well thought out mindset and opinion about this is kind of what separates normal wrestling podcasts. And this is why having women, having people of color on our network, that's what I'm most proud about, is just the different cultures that we have on this network, because different people have different thoughts, and we're all kind of creating as it goes, and our opinions and everything. So this is why having a lot of different people on shows is important, because everybody has a different perspective. And so the close my eyes and close my ears wrestling fan probably not going to hang out with us too much, but that is
well
kind of
on the internet, though.
Yeah, that is purposeful, right? We don't you can get enough. You can go to literally WWE.com and find that stuff. and that is for them. Like I understand it. Like sometimes it's hard to deal with certain things, but this is why I like the thoughtfulness on this channel, because there is value in it, and that's what separates from just normal like fake wrestling stuff to me.
Thank you, Gary. It really means a lot to us because, I mean, again, like Sam wasn't even sure she wanted a podcast. I needed a platform to podcast on. And now I've made a whole bunch of friends. And I love the Fight Game Media. I love our people. I love the people that work on this network. I love our Discord is a great, like, I have 2 healthy Discords that help me take my mind off of the mundane weirdness that I have to deal with. And Fight Game and One Red Club, which, he Kyle designed our logo here, so it's basically a crossover group. They're just good people and in a good space that are trying to like have good conversations without trying to do all the things you just said. Because, like, and if you want that, just log on. It's right there.
Right.
Just go to Twitter, man. Just go.
All you have to do is open any social,
Scroll Twitter for 10 seconds
2
and you'll
seconds.
find exactly what you need.
10 is way too much. Jared. It's like 2 seconds. Sometimes I'm like, nope, that's the dumbest thought of the day. I'm off here for hours.
I'm gonna let you all do your thing, and you have Keela, so you don't need me. But I it was important for me to come on here and say hi and to celebrate with you all, because this is a real, like, it's a real landmark. It's not like this, we're just celebrating because 200 is like some random number. No, like, this is like effort and hard work. And I think your audience, as I can see in the comments right now, they appreciate it, because there is thought that goes into putting together a podcast every single week.
Yes.
I create so many rundowns for so many different shows, and I hate it when people go, oh, so you just talk about the same things on every wrestling show that you do. And I'm like, no, I have to create different topics and different like reasons for people to check in. Like let's say one person wants to listen to everything I do on a wrestling, either on this network or on Wrestling Observer. If they see me talk about the same things over and over and over, they're going to be like, oh, I don't need to listen to this one. So,
exactly.
So, to just come up with a rundown, to have a different show every week is hard work. So I celebrate y'all. Keela, how close are you and Scott, Keela? Do we even know?
I have no idea. I know we've been together as co-hosts for 4 years.
So you got to be close. You got to be like around similar. Like, it's got to be pretty close if it's not already.
Yes, I'm presuming it's close-ish.
We got to count backwards. We got to figure out a way to count backwards and figure out what the real number is for the wrap.
To November 2021. That as far as I can go in terms of the start date.
Wow,
so it's that far.
Wow.
That's so cool.
You've been able to put up with Salty Scott for that long.
Yes. And then you said, can I handle it? Like, Keela, can you handle Scott? Because that's a lot of responsibility. And I have, because he's the biggest Miss Homer in the world, and I haven't quit in 4 years.
And the biggest LeBron fan. What is he going to do when LeBron decides to retire? He's got to find. He may not watch basketball anymore.
He might quit. He might quit basketball. He might retire.
Okay, y'all, have a great one.
Thank you.
I gotta get ready for some Super Bowl stuff, and I'll say this, Mel.
Yes.
If this was the Super Bowl in which I could hope for your happiness, I will root for the Seahawks.
That's like the only reason you'll ever.
But it'd be the only reason, if the Seahawks win, that I will even be somewhat happy, is just for you. Otherwise, this is a tough one for me.
Believe me here when I tell you that the only time I've ever thought about considering being a Santa Clara fan is when it's been you and Mike and all of you people that I can't help but love because of how great you are, but you live in the Bay Area and nobody's perfect. And Tigers fans, Mike doesn't necessarily live there, but
yeah, he's lives.
He's in my neck of the woods now. I know. I keep telling Mel we need to wrangle him for like a live show, and make
They
him
need to have a
come.
Dynamite in your area so you two can.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
fun.
We
That'd
need
be
proof
fun.
of actual life because otherwise
Right.
he's the smartest bog on the
Listen,
internet.
He's the one
the dumbest
who
bot,
willingly
depending on who you
watches
ask.
TNA week in and week out and makes content. So bless him for
Yeah,
that.
right.
All right, guys, have a great rest of your show. I will
Thank
talk
you.
to you soon.
Garrett.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Garrett. Thanks for being here. I'm going to get to some of the comments that didn't get put up here. But again,
Yeah.
thank you all for your wonderful comments. It really, we really, really appreciate that. And Nikki said she looks forward to talking with her wrestling friends. It always makes her happy. And
I'm right there with you, Sam. I have moments some weeks where I'm like, oh, and I'm like, get your butt on there. You always feel better when you talk to
Exactly. Yeah. I'm like, well, what else do you have to do? Go talk to your friends.
Right, exactly. It's only going to be a couple hours, and then we always end up. It's like some of the days that I don't want to the most are the days that we end up having like the longest and funniest show.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm like, shut up.
Exactly. Oh, Brad says every Sunday, Kathy asks me if your show is on or if it starts late, and if it's not on for a week, she keeps me on my toes to make sure we get to listen, get here to listen.
Oh, that is so
thank
nice.
you, Kathy. We were just talking about Kathy yesterday. Nikki and I were, because we were talking about, I forget what we had. My cousin and his girlfriend came by yesterday, and we were talking about the podcast, and I can't remember now. I'm sure Nikki will. I can't remember off the top of my head what started the conversation, but also obviously because her name is Kathy, my cousin's late mother's name was also Kathy. And so, but we were talking about how much like we enjoy even having we have younger fans, which is crazy, which we appreciate. And now we've had last year we had baby wrestling join when my friend Matthew, who listens usually on the replay, became a dad last year. So now we have our youngest fan. they sometimes listen together. So we really appreciate that. And then Curry had said he enjoys this podcast because they at least talk about issues. There are not just entering issues or storyline issues. They talk about real political criminal, and I feel like it's a safe space. That really means a lot to us because
that's good.
We want this to be a safe space because we know, believe us, the three of us definitely know what that's like to not have a safe space and to be able to create that on this network and have someone who believes in us enough to give us a platform to create that safe space for people like us. And so we truly appreciate that. And that means a lot that you think that, because that's what we try to do here. It's not a safe space if you're an asshole, but
That's right.
Otherwise,
Sam is an expert with the band hammer, and we got Nikki in the back up there. It's
sometimes Nikki will see it.
It's still a team effort. I mean, it's a friends. I mean,
Yeah. So, Nikki sometimes will text me if I missed something. She'll be like, "Hey, I don't know if you saw this in the chat because you were in the usually it's when we're in the middle of a conversation." And she's like, "I don't know if you saw this, but this person said this. You might want to go take care of that." So I appreciate that. Oh, I missed this. Korean said, "Why don't you just kick Garrett when he's down right now?"
Is he having a rough week?
No, I think just now I was talking about because the
gotcha.
49ers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, NFC West. What are we gonna do?
Thank you for the heads up, Brad. He said, speaking of Kathy, he's going to be picking her up from his parents' house, but he'll have us on in the car. He won't be chatting, but he'll be listening. We appreciate you taking us on the go. That's right. Nikki says we were talking about our supporter friends and how they bought my art. So that's right. So when Brad bought some of Nikki's art, she sent some extra stuff to Kathy.
Oh, that's adorable. I love that.
Yeah.
We get to also kind of see what movies Kathy's getting to watch and stuff. So there's a lot of fun there for those of us who, worked with kids or have, my niece is Kathy's age. So it's very similar.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's cute for me to see other kids existing in that space where they're like,
right.
What are you guys learning right now?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I also kind of just see what they like in wrestling, because obviously as adults and people who,
oh my gosh, yes,
who talk about wrestling every week, we obviously consume wrestling in a different way. And sometimes it's nice to have the reminder that kids enjoy this for this stuff, and they don't care about all the other crap, and they don't care about this. And you see, obviously, like the little kids who follow Jey Uso down the stairs when he's yeeting, and they will, like, there's the kid like a week or so ago that like followed him down the steps, like, and he's held babies and yeeted with a baby holding a baby, and like you see the kids who are dressed up like Orange Cassidy and things like that. So it's a nice reminder sometimes that, you know, it's also
that's kind of my favorite thing, because when you see the kids dressed up, that's like, that is the future. That's like our when we get old and are stuck in like nursing homes and stuff, we will still have wrestling to watch because those kids are dressing up like Orange Cassidy today. That's what's important. We need to keep that flowing.
Yes.
Because otherwise we're going to have to end up watching boring old people shows, and you can't have
otherwise you're going to get stuck watching TNA. That wasn't nice.
Burn, Mike Gilbert, burn.
Korean says he got hooked on our show because of the Vince McMahon stuff, and y'all are very professional about it and express facts and opinions both equally. Thank you. That's not an easy subject to talk about, but it's not a subject we feel like we could turn away from. And we felt, especially as women in this space, we needed to give a woman's point of view about this thing, because there are a lot of men who are talking heads who are talking about this, and there are some men who have been really great about it and have been talking about it, with care and things like that. But also, some men don't think about things obviously the way that a woman would, and so we felt it was really important to give our perspective on that, and to say like that, hey, this is why this is not cool. Like, this is why, like, this is a crime, or could a potential crime, an alleged crime, and things like that. So, it's not a fun topic, but I feel like at least for me, I feel like we have a responsibility to talk about it, because otherwise we're just sweeping it under the rug like everybody else. And I don't think that that's right to do, especially given that we have a small platform, and also just that because we are women and we are in this space too. And between speaking out and then everything that's come out with the Vince McMahon stuff, and even now like the Ring Boys lawsuit and things like that, like, it's important to talk about, like, these are things that are actually happening. Of course, would I like to not talk about it? Of course. But I feel like we have a duty to talk about it. And so we try to present all the information, and we, unfortunately they're not fun, but we've read the lawsuits and we know what's in them, and so that we can give facts about it and say, hey, I read this, and so I do know what I'm talking about. I'm not just reading what other people are saying online. I took the time to read it, and it is not fun stuff to read. And there are things in it that I don't understand because I didn't go to law school, and so sometimes I have to ask other people, like, hey, what does this mean? And luckily Mel has a really good grasp on some of that side of things, and so she can talk about that a bit more, which I appreciate that she can step in with some of that stuff too, and so it helps.
I'm a weirdly proficient reader. I'm a nerd about reading, and then and I mean, I did again, and for those of us people who are newer, I did spend some time in school before life changed my life, and that was kind of what I was going to school for, and I've never lost interest in it. And so it is something that it had been a while since I'd sat down and read a physical lawsuit. And of course, it's not one you want to come back to necessarily. But like Sam said, I think the reality, and then even more what Garrett said about how the intersection of like what's happening in the real world and what's happening in wrestling, which Sam and I talk about every week practically, is wrestling reflects life reflects wrestling. So that intersection, like when you look at especially a week like this week, it's particularly important to be elevating the voices of people who have been victimized by the exact same sorts of offenses that are taking place in the larger culture, and not hearing it in a man's voice.
Yes, that is true. So we noticed before we came on the air that somebody asked us a question last night. And Keela can probably also actually answer this as well. So the question that we have here says, who got put in the body bag and treated worse, Darby or Punk on Monday?
Wow.
You guys are gonna have to help me out with this one. Did Punk get put in a body bag?
Yeah, we'll set the scene.
Was that metaphorically or?
Well, no. With the Punk situation, it was not a literal body bag as it was for Darby, but it was I guess depends on how you look at it. Maybe a verbal body bag. And Keela can weigh on this, and I did listen to the rap while I was finishing up my article on Monday, and so I had them on as well. But so Monday, the show
was in. I have to hear what Keela and Celtics
yeah, that's
have
what
to say about this.
Oh, this question is perfect because Keela is here. So Monday evening to close Raw, there was a segment with Roman Reigns was out in the ring because he won. As I predicted, he won the Royal Rumble, and he came out to talk about how the last time he was in Philly, it was a different scenario. He was getting booed, things like that, and he's just talking about that. And CM Punk comes out, walks right past him, goes straight to the camera to call out Finn Balor because he and Finn Balor have been the last few weeks have been not getting along so well, and we're probably getting a match with him at the Elimination Chamber. And Roman did not like that. You do not come in this ring and look past me. So then we got into maybe a verbal body bag for some people. So Roman Reigns had some things to say about CM Punk. CM Punk had some things to say about Roman. Or CM Punk, I guess some of the basic stuff is CM Punk told Roman that at one point he was champion for 434 days with Paul Heyman by his side, so he's just copying him because, he had Paul Heyman by his side as well when he was the longest reigning champion, and he said just because you did it longer doesn't mean you did it better. That whole thing, and he said, you only kept your title because of your family. And Roman Reigns said, the only thing I ever learned from you was what not to do. If it wasn't for me and my family, you wouldn't have had a company to come back to. Because CM Punk also said that he chooses to be on the road to travel internationally and do all this stuff while Roman chooses to stay home. Because as we joked about last week, Roman Reigns doesn't wrestle enough matches to even qualify for the PWI 500. He doesn't. So Roman took exception to that, and then he also said you went on your friend's he said you went home for 10 years. Then he said you also went home, or you went on your friend's podcast and made my life harder than it needed to be. And he was like, and he said, I'm choosing to face you at WrestleMania because I hate you. And he was like, he sounded like he meant it. So this is what sets up our question. And so Keela, since you watch Raw, I will let you go ahead and give your thoughts on that segment and then answer this question.
Well, I thought the segment did a great job setting up what I think should be the main event of night 2 of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then it sets the table for Drew, Cody, and Jacob to open night 1 of WrestleMania because the women should main event. There is no easier pathway than this year for the ladies to main event. So I am cool with Roman and Punk main eventing night 2 outright. Let's go ahead and do that. They sold me. The verbal chemistry between the two was very surprising in a good way. They went back and forth. Both guys are great on the microphone, and Punk will pull out the best in you. And I thought Roman went toe to toe, hung strong, had the crowd too. The crowd was with him when Punk was trying to push back a bit against Roman. Roman had the crowd. Philly was on Roman's side, definitely towards the end.
Yeah.
Now to answer the question, the body bag question.
Yes.
This is very difficult because we've seen Darby literally in a body bag get bodied multiple times, and it was very disturbing to watch.
Yes.
So I say the physical aspect of being bodied is worse than being verbally bodied. But I will say that Roman did land some nice shots on CM Punk. And I appreciated that because you have to. When you go up against a guy like Punk that can improvise off the dome, can throw you off your game on live television, how can you counter that? I thought Roman did a great job. But a body bag, real Darby and a real bag, I'll take that over what Roman did to Punk on Monday.
It's hard to go with the physical evidence of
Yes.
actually being dragged
Yes.
by a vehicle in an actual body.
Yes, and taking bumps, wrestling maneuvers in a body
Right.
bag and selling the damage in the bag.
Right.
Visually seeing that is far more disturbing than getting
Sure.
verbally bodied.
Yeah,
Right.
getting to the point where watching Darby get the crap kicked out of him near to death is not as entertaining as it is nerve-wracking and a little cringy.
Then we have Curryhead, who, you know, I'm kind of with Curryhead.
I
here.
mean,
It's kinda
I guess
getting
that's
this-
where I'm at. It's,
Yes.
I don't need to see. I don't need him like in body bags or being drowned potentially. Or I mean, I guess watching him take a good old-fashioned beating. I mean, that's fine. I guess it's whatever. But some of these are getting a little crazy. I did appreciate. Oh God, who knocked him off his and who knocked him off his skateboard the other week? That was like. It was perfect. It was like the best thing.
It was Clark. Clark
That's
came
what it
up
was. It was
behind him
Clark
before the
It was
match.
just perfect. He was on his way down the ramp and he was on that skateboard, and just the way he did it, like out of nowhere, I was like, that's kind of how I feel right now. Clark just nailed it right there. That's kind of, yeah. It's just not that Darby's bad, just that like maybe let's try a little something else or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe like Mark Briscoe can just carry him around and like throw him.
Right. So yeah, I appreciated it did kind of make me laugh though that Clark is like he Wheelie finally made, I don't know, I think that might have been Wheelie's AEW debut when he threw his wheel at Darby.
Funny.
I think that was Wheelie's debut. And so
Did Wheelie get a graphic? Because RJ said he's going to be really mad if he did.
last night. Speaking of, so the Rascals finally got their after they survived the parking lot fight last night. They got their graphic, and RJ said, "So now we just give graphics to people who smoke marijuana cigarettes." I was like,
That's hilarious. I haven't heard someone since my grandparents were around. It's just been a minute. It's so prevalent in Michigan. It's like the state flower here now. I mean,
right. It was perfect for RJ though, knowing everything we know about RJ. It was
he's
on
great.
brand. I love this bit. I
Whenever-
will never get tired of the graphic bit with RJ City.
Never ever.
It's great.
It is great.
So
And thank you guys for the super chats. We really
yes, we
appreciate
do
that.
appreciate those. Korea said we have 1 week with him not in the body bag or Darby nearly getting killed. Yeah. It says Crash says this is an extremely ludicrously long drawn out build to a body bag match, isn't it? The secular version of a coffin match.
Thank God they're not trying to do an urn match.
Lord Jesus. Now listen, Mel, we cannot have like a live cremation on the air. We cannot
If we do that, we have to clip Brian Alvarez from years ago after the issue with we have to cut him saying burnt to an effing crisp.
Yes, for the Fiend. We need to
Thank
do
you, the
that.
Fiend. I was like, remember how mad he was on that one episode? And he kept saying it so punctual.
Burnt to an effing crisp. And
Now
then use
I'm
the
keeping
thumbnail
the-
picture of the burning.
Yes, we need it. We need the
Now,
audio.
I am obviously not going to drop the F-bomb prematurely. That would have the whole clip would be the demonetization, but it'd be worse if that's what happened, then we would have to clip Brian Alvarez saying it that way.
We would
because-
need your super chats because we get demonetized.
Yeah, right, exactly. Because that is like on the level with like football coach or football press conference or any, the famous quotes from live sporting, like the Bears are who they thought they were, or we thought they were, or whatever, or playoffs. Yes. Like that is like for wrestling is one of my like burnt and crisp, like Brian Alvarez forever. Beautiful.
Crash says the budget version of a coffin match earns work too. We can do a big Lebowski moment with Darby's ashes off the cliffside, off of the cliffside of Mount Everest.
Oh my God!
With the
Tony
AEW
Khan.
flag AEW flag that he took with him. At
Yes.
the very least, if we can't get it on Mount Everest, because for reasons, obviously. We'll at least have the flag. You could do well. No, and I know that they use Mount Rainier to practice on, right? Isn't that what they use?
Yes, that's actually
to
true
practice,
because
so-
Mount Rainier is Oh yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
we could
Yeah,
do
you can
that.
even if you like Mount Rainier. I actually have it on my desktop on my phone because I love Rainier Sun. We used to call it Mount Doom, but it like just on the like lower levels, like where the snowfields are, like people like go onto the snowfields like I'm gonna go out there, and then they like it's not good. It's like so dangerous, like even at the base of that mountain. That's why we're always like, no, climbers, they train for K2 and Everest on that mountain. Okay.
Right.
Like you don't mess around with that guy with Rainier Sun. It will take you out. But so pretty. Such a pretty mountain. So yeah. You could do that.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what? I wasn't like trying to say anything, but I almost feel like we just like he probably has it in his will. If he has one, like that's his funeral that we were just talking about.
Listen,
If he
you're
doesn't
probably
have
right.
one, he has one now.
He does. That will be his retirement match. You must cremate me as a going away gift, and then from that moment on, you will never publicly see me again. Like if y'all want to see me go out, I'm going out in an urn, and you just put me on the mountain, plant a flag, and say Darby lies here.
Or they could shoot him into space
On a SpaceX rocket.
He could be the first pro wrestler's ashes in space.
He would probably be very excited about that. We have given, if he has not already thought about this,
You're
we have
welcome,
given
man.
him- We got you.
We're gonna start a post-life planning for wrestlers situation here. What's this? It's so weird.
The ultimate retirement match.
Right.
This is the ultimate. Like if you want closure, and if you never want to be seen again publicly, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm
Exactly.
starting to want this to be my funeral. It just sounds like it's way better than like every funeral I've ever been to, and it would be a better celebration of a person's life.
Yes. And we're all in on it. Like we are all in the celebration of
Hashtag
life.
all
It
in.
will
And
not
you
be
would be like,
sadness.
that person totally would have wanted it this way.
Yeah.
Great head says, if Darby does it there, I want this show to get full credit for it. Yes. The people can help us make sure. I mean, we've got it. It's obviously it's on video, but we've got the
it's on the
people-
interweb, so it's forever.
It's on the internet. Yes, it's forever. So. And then if other wrestlers are watching this and you would like our services to help you plan your exit.
What
Your
is it?
exit,
Power
your
bombshells,
retirement, your
afterlife
demise.
planning, or
We have rates, we have prices for you, we have
Mhm.
options.
Yeah, I mean,
Years.
who needs Gunther to end your career when
Now he
We
can
can
facilitate
negotiate
it though.
pricing
He can
and-
Yes,
negotiate
that
pricing
is
with
true.
you.
We can give you the Gunther option where he facilitates it, and then
There you
we'll
go.
take care of the after part of it.
Yes.
There you go.
We can make that one of we can have a Gunther special.
The regular rate of regular retirement versus death in
Right.
kayfabe.
Exactly. We have lasted 200 episodes to get to this.
You know what? I think this is on brand.
It is very on.
It is on brand to do it this way. It's
Yeah.
appropriate. And then
It
listen,
is.
there'll be no mourning, there'll be no sadness.
It's
Mm-mm.
true.
We can celebrate their lives knowing this is how they want it to go out.
I was just about to say this is how they wanted to go out. That's what everybody was. This is what they wanted. This is
I always
exactly
think of
how they
Carrie
would've-
Fisher.
It
Like
was
she
such a
did.
lovely service. They went the way they wanted.
I always think of Carrie Fisher because she was cremated, and her brother. The picture was she wanted this. They buried her, and I think it was like a Paxil or but it was like a depression. It was an antidepressant pill. Was the shape of her urn? They made it, and it was her request. She wanted to be buried in a like antidepressant capsule urn. So there's like a picture of her brother Eddie Fisher walking around with it, and he was like, "This is what she wanted." So
I was about
chill
to say,
out. And I was like, you know what? I was like a fan of hers my entire life because she was one of the like ladies that I could look up to because I knew she was a ghostwriter and I knew all that stuff about her. So it was like, bless her, she just was out there like advocating all the way to the end. So I think this is like
a market for it.
See, that's what I'm saying is like she would be behind us because, you know, remembering people, their legacy, like that's really what this is about. So if you want to be shot into the sun after your wrestling retirement, just we'll start setting something up.
Right, we got you. Like we said, we got it. We can get you a one sheet of our services.
we have like we might have to copyright this now.
And you know, yeah, we probably should.
We should. I'm serious.
And this actually leads into our first topic very well.
Weirdly,
well, not quite well. It's not technically a retirement, but it does lead into
Prozac. Thank you, Nikki.
Yes.
Nikki corrected me. Thank you. I couldn't remember. It was Prozac. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate it. I knew it. I knew someone knew.
Oh,
anyway,
gosh. So
transition.
Yeah, so this segues into not quite a retirement. However, if he is getting towards a retirement, we got you, Hiromu. But sadly, this week, I think it was Monday, we saw the big, or maybe it was Sunday, I can't remember. We saw the white in New Japan logo, which usually means something bad. Yes. And in this case, it was that Hiromu Takahashi is leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling very soon. I can't say it is a surprise. I mean, it had been rumored that because there's multiple contracts coming up. So it had been rumored that he was one of them. So it wasn't a complete surprise, but also it's hard to imagine New Japan Pro Wrestling without Hiromu. He's been there since I've started watching. If you've listened to the show, any of the 200 episodes, you'll hear me talking about how much I love Hiromu. And so it's very hard to imagine a New Japan without him and his just very big personality and his crazy costumes and jackets and outfits and of course his incredible wrestling, which I guess, probably most important of all of those things. And so Hiromu had this morning, he did at his request, he had two matches. He was already scheduled for let me pull up my notes. He was already scheduled for the 8-man match. It was, my notes will pop up here, I can tell you. I know it was him, Drilla, Robbie X, and Ishimori, and they faced Greatest Okan, Hinare, Jacob Austin Young, and Zane J. But then he also he requested that he have a singles match against one of the Young Lions, Yasuda. It was the match that he really wanted to have, and then of course he did beat Yasuda. And then I did see some post-match. I haven't seen the show, but I did see some post-match comments where he said that he had something in him that reminded Hiromu of himself, and he gave him permission to use his Young Lion music. And then his final match is scheduled for the 11th at New Beginning. That's on I think it's, what is that, Osaka? Is that where it's at? I think that's where it's at. He will be teaming up with Ishimori against Francesco Akira and Jacob Austin Young. And then that is supposed to be it for Hiromu in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So we've got just 3 days left. Of course, there have been some rumors that WWE is interested in him because obviously that's supposedly where Evil will be headed. Of course, people, obviously the other landing place is obviously AEW. I have my thoughts on where I think he might end up, but Mel or Keela, do either of you have any thoughts on Hiromu leaving and where you think he might wind up?
Well, I'll go first. I guess I feel like there's a WWE thing headed his way is my feeling. I don't think that he's going to end up in AEW. I think that this exit is WWE driven. I think that a lot of, especially with the amount of money that there is to be had in making American dollars and then turning them back into yen right now, I see a lot of these people, if WWE has any interest and they're willing to pay more than Tony, which, I mean, he can't obviously pay as much in the longer overall picture. So, I mean, I think that, especially since I've heard that they're like willing to let him keep a lot of his stuff, like you said, they're willing to let him keep his ring stuff. There's talk about Daryl coming with him, which, you know,
I mean, I think that's a non-negotiable. Like, you have Daryl, you can't have Daryl without Hiromu. I mean, you can't have Hiromu without Daryl.
I don't like. I mean, WWE would be leaving money, like all the money, on the table if you didn't have like that in the store, like that day.
Whoever gets him would be.
I don't know, Keila. What are you probably, because you're on the WWE side of things, so.
First of all, Mel, get out of my head, because all I had on my mind was Daryl and the mass production of Daryls being sold by somebody. Yes. And who's going to mass produce Daryls more than WWE? Okay, that shop going to sell that cat for $65. Okay.
God, you're so right.
You know already. Daryl shirts, Daryl plushes, Daryl pillows. Like, you have to commodify Daryl. That's where I was at. So I do foresee a WWE future for Hiromu. Tony could pay, he could outbid, but does he want to? Are there other big fish in the sea that he might want to grab this year? I don't think it's going to be Hiromu. I think it's WWE bound for him. It reminds me a lot of what happened in 2016 when Shinsuke and AJ and the Good Brothers all defected from New Japan and went to WWE. Is given some of that for sure, but Hiromu had a great run in New Japan for years, a cornerstone, a centerpiece of the Super Juniors division for a very long time. And now he gets to make some prime dollars in America and is going to be in WWE. And you can bet your buns it's going to be because of Daryl.
They don't want you, Hiromu. They want Daryl.
Yes.
So my thought is I think he at least maybe perhaps he comes to America at some point. I think he's going to Noah because that man loves Naito. Like,
that's a fair point, and he has done some shows over there, and I've seen him in matches over there.
He has wrestled in Noah. He has held a title in Noah. Bushi is also there. So they can have an LIJ reunion. Will it be more than 3 months? Will it be more than 6 months? Who knows? Will it be, will he just freelance for a bit and then go wherever he's going? That's also possible. I feel like he is going to reunite with Naito before he goes wherever he's going. Or maybe he just signs a contract with him because he has wrestled with him before. Like you said, he's held a title. I believe he held a title just a few months ago. I don't think he currently holds that title. I can't remember which one it was off the top of my head, but I do think that he will reunite with Naito for maybe it's a few matches, maybe it's a few months. I definitely could see him going to WWE. I feel like if he does, it will be a Kushida situation where he makes his money, but he is not the star that he should be, which that is my fear if that's where he goes. But of course, I want him to get paid because I think he's great, and I think people should be paid very well in wrestling. And he did say in his I guess after the not retirement, but after the announcement that he was leaving, he did say his goal, because his goal for the last few years is to compete in the main to compete as a heavyweight champion as a junior. He's all in, like, he wanted to main event. He wanted the juniors to main event Wrestle Kingdom. But he said that he has a new goal now, and he is afraid that if he does not do anything about that goal, then in 10 to 20 years, he will regret it, basically, is what he said. He has not revealed what that goal is. But there is something that is pushing him to leave New Japan that doesn't necessarily have to do anything. I mean, I'm sure money is a part of it, but it sounds like there's something else that is pushing him to leave. Is that a WrestleMania match? Perhaps. Is it getting over in America? which I would argue he already is, but is it something like that? Is it wrestling on TV every single week? Who knows? I'm sure he will let us know soon enough what his goal is, but whatever he ends up going, I do foresee him at least reconnecting with Naito and Bushi. And you see some of the wrestlers have been, after the announcement came out, Tsuji, I think it was Shingo, was like, I'm happy for you, but now I'm going to be lonely, because he will be the only, I mean, obviously LIJ has broken up. They no longer exist, but Shingo will be it. He'll be the only one in New Japan who was in LIJ. Everybody else is gone. Once Hiromu leaves, that's it. And which is really sad, because LIJ was an incredible faction for many years. And to see it end like this is kind of on the sad side, but I guess they are leaving on their own terms, which maybe you can make the argument that Naito didn't leave on his own terms. He left because they weren't going to pay him what he wanted to be paid. And then Bushi was like, nope, I'm going too. And I kind of feel like that's where Hiromu is at, but maybe who knows what Hiramu's goal is. It's just going to be, I will follow Hiromu wherever he goes. I will be a fan of his. I'm just very curious what that will look like and what New Japan is going to look like. Because New Japan, we're already seeing they're seeing a mass exodus again. Like you mentioned with AJ and the Good Brothers and Shinsuke. And it kind of feels like that all over again. And Tanahashi has a huge test in front of him to keep these Japanese fans buying tickets every week. And so when you lose somebody like Hiromu, who is so, I believe, maybe I'm looking at it from a Western perspective, but I believe he's still really over with the fans. I believe that he's somebody that's still really popular. And to lose that when you've already lost so much, I think is going to be really, it's going to really test New Japan a lot. And I think Tanahashi is being tested a lot as the president, not having some of these really big stars. So it'll be really interesting to find out, where he goes. And I think Keela's right that if he does go to WWE, get ready to pay $65 for a Daryl.
Okay, you think I'm lying?
No, I know you're not.
You're not wrong.
$65 sounds about right.
I could push it to 75, knowing them.
Yeah, and then if you have to buy it at the stadium or at an event, because he's going to
$100
exactly.
Right. Well, and then if they sell it with if they decide to bring Carol too, and then you have the other kitty, then they'll probably sell it for like $150.
Yes, $150 for the pair.
On eBay for like $500 the next day.
Yes. Listen, if you got one at a New Japan show, you could probably put it up on eBay right now.
Probably.
Yes.
Times are tough.
Yeah. Yeah, Curry has says, bring him and Daryl and get that bag. Yeah, I want him to get the bag wherever he goes. I'm afraid that he's going to end up like Kushida, or even worse, like Eichmann, who was the jacket.
Oh,
that's his gimmick, was his jacket basically, and they were doing like the really awful. But this is when we were doing NXT 2.0, and
yes,
that was a wild time.
A sad era to be a part of.
It was, and bless Eichmann Jiro for doing that. Now is he in Noah or DDT? I think he's in DDT now. I think that's where he is at.
I believe so as well. Like, look what they did to Saray. Like, what they've done to people during that era. Like, I wish y'all signed 4 years after that, because good Lord Almighty in heaven, what y'all endured under that regime. Good Lord.
Was bad time.
Yeah, that's my fear, Nikki. But he also has such a big personality that I think even if he's stuck with something terrible, he will just be Hiromu.
Yeah,
that's just.
I hope so.
I
hope he does well. I obviously love the guy. I've watched him. He's been part of my New Japan experience for the last 10 years. So
yeah,
it's like, yay. I'm glad for you, but also it is a bummer to see.
But like on the other hand, like
New Japan,
other than like his one big goal, he has also accomplished pretty much everything there is to accomplish in New Japan, unless maybe they put the global heavyweight title on him. What else is there left for him to do? He was the junior division. Like he was,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Despe too, but like he was it. Like he was the guy, and he made that division what it was. And so like, and that was kind of like, I mean, Kushida left because they wouldn't let him turn heel. He wanted to turn heel and join the Bullet Club, and they said no. And he's like, all right, well, I'm leaving. And so, but like Hiromu, I think he's got the point now where he's done unless they're going to let him main event Wrestle Kingdom, he's done everything that there is to do right now. And so, I think that, that probably plays a part of it as well. And Curryhead asks if he could get over in mainstream America. And then Crash says that Hiromu definitely has crossover potential in my book. He kind of has a Western vibe, and some of the style choices is kind of art punk. That's a good way to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, thank you. So Brad says they'd have to get the rights to Daryl because it's owned by an outside company. I'm sure they'd pay it.
Listen, they'll cut that check so fast. Like, listen, how much you want? How much you
selling
want?
these. You want some royalties from it? Cause
yes, we'll give you 30% royalties, and we just get the rights to Daryl and Carol.
That'll
Right.
just make them jack up the price more.
Right. Right.
Guys, we have to cover our overhead. What?
Michael, you Ricochet did not say nothing wrong. He sold zero lies detected in those statements. Zero lies detected. I was reading and I was like, yeah, he's right about all of it.
I read it. I said, where's the lie? I can tell you exactly when all of his hopes died. It was in 2019 at WrestleMania. I'll never forget it. And you saw the genuine joy on that man's face. That was the last day he had genuine joy and like excitement on his face, because after that, the booking went to hell.
Yeah.
Like, where is the lie? He was a good hand, and that's all they saw him as.
Right.
So if you feel that way about me, why would I stay? And he's right. Where is the lie about all the people that have been through so much in WWE, that made the jump from New Japan, from the indies, and look where they are in some ways? Are they happy with the check? Absolutely. But they know they've lost prime years of being main eventers, winning major championships, getting sustained pushes because of the politics involved, because they don't see you as being the guy, because you're not big enough. You don't have enough personality. You're not the type we're looking for. It still happens today. They still have that parameter of what a star should be in WWE. So where's the lie? Pull up, since you can go on Netflix now, that WrestleMania in New York, New Jersey. See Ricochet's face. That was the last day he was sincerely happy in that company, outside of Samantha kissing him on SmackDown on Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yay, my wife got to kiss me. Hooray.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he even said, he was like, I met my wife. I met some great friends and made some memories. But overall, it was a terrible decision. I wasted 5 years of my life and my career being in that. And he's not wrong.
Well, you look at where he is right now, and now that he's able to spread his wings, he's great. He's doing, it always is my concern with wrestlers, because we know what WWE does to wrestlers like that. So it's just
we've seen it time and time again, and so of course people were getting mad about it, but he's not. They're mad because they know it's true.
Yeah.
Or they just don't realize, maybe they haven't been watching long enough, but we've watched this play out so many times. And so that's always our concern. I want you to get the bag. Yes. When I hear somebody sign it, yes, get the bag. I hope you do well. But I have watched long enough to know that it's few and far between when these people get booked properly. And then, I think one of the most besides Ricochet, I think Shuri is Saria is a excellent example of that, as you mentioned.
Example, yeah.
It's mind blowing what they did. But you can even look at what they've done with Stephanie Vacker and Julia.
Oh, Julia! Seriously,
how do you fumble Julia?
How do you do that? How do you have someone
you have to,
with that
actively fail? You actively have to fumble her.
And they have. They're actively fumbling her, and then they have this meeting in this room, and they wonder, oh my God, Chelsea's a champion. Who can challenge her? Now Julia's a champion. Oh my God, who can challenge her? These shouldn't be difficult questions. Right. When Julia comes out for her matches, there shouldn't be silence from the fans. But you've made it that way because you've beaten down what she's done as a worker in terms of booking.
Yep.
And it's a shame. Like and we've seen recoveries happen, but the booking and the laziness and the I don't know what I should do. If you don't know how to book, you shouldn't be in that role, because it's very simple to book people in positions to thrive versus booking them like crap.
Yeah.
I think it's weird that everyone thought that Triple H somehow was going to be that Paul Levesque was going to be some great like big like change progress thing. It's like, dude, he learned literally from the guy who came before him who did all this stuff. Like at some point, and now that it's all his responsibility now, right?
He doesn't have to. He is the Vince McMahon's son-in-law. He doesn't have to put any effort. And when he took, I mean, yes, in the beginning, there were some changes, but when the bar is on the ground, when you take over, like it's not that hard to be able to be able to step over it and do some good things, like because at the point when it was before when he took over, like the bar was on the ground collecting dirt, and then he rose the bar up, which was good. But then you see who he surrounded himself around. A bunch of people that were there during that time that Vince was, and they have that old school, antiquated mentality. Yes men. So I pray when the Seths and the Codys and the Punks retire, that's who's in that room next. Yeah, along with some females up in that room next, because there's just too much testosterone up in there. Good Lord, way too much, and you can see it in the way that the women are booked.
Yeah, Lord, who's advocating for them? No one.
No one, and it's obvious. Like it is a travesty the way that it's booked over.
It's tragic.
It is tragic,
and
tragic. And unfortunately, like they are. I mean, obviously they're overpricing, and I mean, you know, AEW is doing it as well when some of their tickets are priced out, but you know, but they're making money there, so they don't care. Like as long as people are buying tickets, then they're not gonna they're in no rush to fix anything, because they can rely on Roman Reigns, they can rely on Cody Rhodes, they can rely on CM Punk, they can rely on Becky Lynch and Rhea. All they got to do is put Rhea out there. And they're like, she can do, they can have Rhea out there reading a telephone book, and the people would go crazy for her and spend money for her. Like they're making money.
That's any company. I mean, any company that's out there, as long as they're making mad amounts of money off of what they're doing, whether they see it or not, they're going to keep making money doing it that way until the money runs out.
And exactly. And every bubble will burst eventually, for sure. And then they have to realize, well, what can we do now? Well, you've had years to get it together, and then it's going to be that delay. And it happens with every company. For every peak, there's a valley. Yeah. And I think it's coming.
Right. Yep. It is. And it's going to have a harder time. It's going to start being like 2019 and 2020.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like they seem like they have some of their last few decades of ebbs and like highs and lows have been harder to get to the highs.
Well, and like even because, you know, I'm reading The Death of WCW, and they were talking about like, but they talk about how like wrestling is cyclical. Like you have to prepare for these things. Like it's not, but most wrestling companies, when they hit those lows, they panic and they make terrible choices instead of learning from history or they push information. And that's another reason they push that's why they pushed the hell out of John Cena for years, because he was reliable. He was the merch seller. He was the ticket seller. So they always pushed him front and center instead of building up the next John Cena. They just focus, and which is what they talk about in the book. Like instead of building up your next stars, you just focus on. And then at that point, it was like Hogan and Flair, and they're aging out, and they're having these, and Roddy Piper, who had a bad hip. And it's like they were parading these people out there and then they were holding back the younger things, which is funny because Nikki and I talk about this a lot, about how like Chris Jericho talks about that in his books, about how like all these old guys are hanging on and wouldn't push the next thing up, but now Jericho is. You could argue that Jericho has become, as Nikki says, Jericho has become the thing he hates.
Yes.
Well, you know, it's that whole live long enough to see yourself become the villain thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's it's a hard thing to, especially when you do, like obviously we want, like I talk about this all the time, like I want companies to succeed because we want people to have places to work, and I want TNA to be successful. I want them to make money. I want them to make good choices. I want them to have, because not everybody can go to these companies, and people need places to work. And it's not just the wrestlers. It's creative, it's catering, it's production, it's everything. Like, so you need people to have jobs. So WWE, I want them to be successful, but if I am watching week in and week out, and like obviously Keela is as well, like we want to enjoy what we're watching. And we want the wrestlers to be happy. I don't want them to,
I would love for the biggest label in North America or in the world, to be something I want to tune into. It just isn't. And that's a bummer, but it's just the reality of it. I like wrestling a lot. I want wrestling to be good, no matter which wrestling it is. That one is not of interest to me, and it still makes me a little sad, because I wouldn't be a wrestling fan today if I hadn't started there, because that's where a lot of us start when we're from here.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
Sure. It is. I think what's interesting for all of us is that we kind of see the cliff coming and they don't. And when they go over the cliff, which is going to happen, then they're going to look around and say, well, how did this happen? Well, you weren't prepared. So when you kind of see the tea leaves, even with AEW, when I saw the cliff coming, the cliff came, and now they're recovering. It takes time. And that's what WWE, they're making all of this money, but at the same time, it's at the expense of your talent and your fans who want to see fresher people at the top.
Right. And then you can even go back and look at ROH right before AEW started. Like, all their shows were focused on the Bullet Club. And then when they all left, they were like, now what do we do? Because we didn't put anybody else who's on the roster. We didn't put them in positions where that they could take over these main event themes, or that they can be the fan favorites and all this stuff. And so they put all their eggs in one basket, and then that basket left.
Yeah.
And then ROH, and then unfortunately we see, a lot of that obviously was because of Sinclair as well, but like Tony bought them because Sinclair they shut down shows and they weren't even doing anything. And there was a period of time where ROH was not, those talent weren't wrestling because ROH wasn't a thing. And so that's what can happen when you're not paying. Yes, that's kind of the more drastic thing, but like when you're not paying attention, then when you have wrestlers leave like that, and then you're like, well, now what? What do we do now? And so you have to prepare for these cyclical things, Paul Levesque. And Tony Khan too, because he had some rough moments here, and he's finally, gotten back on track since he's like, I make all the decisions. I can't trust any of you.
I hear that.
Listen, paranoid Tony was a real thing for a good while. Like,
It's
only
so
I
true.
can fix it. And now he says, you know what? Actually, I need some help. And that's okay.
Again, I'm telling you,
heard
force
that
Bryan Danielson to book ROH. Just force him to. It's fine.
There you go. I just hear that Triple H isn't Paul Levesque's not much of a reader, so
Yeah,
he
I've
wouldn't
heard that
have read
before.
a lot of past or history.
No,
or
that is
anything.
true. He doesn't want to.
He's not much of a reader, I hear.
He doesn't read lawsuits. He doesn't read.
Yeah.
He doesn't read indictments. He doesn't read history dictionaries.
Right.
No.
Every month it's a new era.
But-
by the way, I just want to
It
clarify
is!
that too.
He said it again.
I woke up this morning actually, and it was a new era.
Literally, this man every single month. It's a new era. Is it? Sure, Paul. Whatever you say. Sure, Grandpa.
No, it's April, dude. It's not a new era.
It is a new era, Mel.
It's February.
It is February 8th. We're in a new era. It's replaced. That's what we do. It's a new era.
Yes. But also, in addition to not reading, he also does not see color.
Oh, that's right. I heard.
That is true. He does not see color. Even on Black History Month, I don't
No.
see it.
No,
Yeah,
I don't acknowledge it.
No.
What is color? I don't know what color is.
I don't know. I don't see it. And
Well, it's because Cody Rhodes cured racism, remember?
Yes.
And
5 years
then-
ago this year he solved it.
he
And
did.
then, oh, wait,
and then,
you know what? I have something that
then
Jim,
he tells
I have
people
to,
why his nickname Raheem.
Oh, you guys, you got to listen to this because Jim Valley gave me this, and I have to play it for you. Ready?
Charlotte, North Carolina. What do you want to talk about?
Apparently,
Charlotte, North Carolina. What do you want to talk about?
this is where I say I was born at the same hospital as that man. My sister was born at the I believe Charlotte Flair was also born at that same hospital. But this man, oh man, this will be a whole other thing. I don't want to still, and I'm sure Kilo's probably going to have some thoughts on Monday.
I just had to
about the
Jim had that
Raheem,
clip and I made
about
him
the
send it to
Raheem
me.
comment.
The Raheem comment, because he
Not only just making the Raheem comment, but doing it in Black History Month.
I know.
Yes. Like, sir, that was not the time nor the place to do that. And the fact that everybody in North Carolina understood the reference, that also got me really good. Like, wow, that is really stayed in the lexicon for years.
It has.
I was amazed by the pop, honestly, when I heard it. Like, y'all know who Raheem is? Y'all know the middle name? I couldn't believe it because I thought that was too inside baseball, but apparently not. Everybody knew.
Except Fernando. He apparently does not understand the Raheem comment.
It's okay. I mean,
Keelan, would you like to explain the Raheem comment?
I don't know if anyone.
Well, it started once upon a time when Cody wanted to wear fur coats and smoke cigars, and he was trying to be like a baller, and he was trying to solve racism at the time. Okay, because allegedly he was a part of historical Black moments in history. And he was photoshopped at several major moments, including the March on Washington. And that is where Raheem came in. I mean, it was a moment. A lot of people don't like it. Some people appreciate the joke. I'm on the fence. The fact he said it on TV during Black History Month, I was stunned.
Yeah.
It was a choice.
It was a choice.
And then I did see, probably not helping their case, whomever tweets from the Usos account, I assume Jay,
Yes.
just
Logged
tweeted
in.
Raheem with laugh cry faces. And I was like, and then you have Brandy Rhodes just comment. One of my favorite gifts ever, I use it all the time, is Janet Jackson putting a chip in her mouth. And it says, it's true though. So
those were details I did not need to know that were confirmed. And now I know too much about the bedroom of the Roses family.
Boy, howdy.
I know too much information.
That show was bad enough.
And now I know too much. I know too much. And I'm disturbed.
Yes. He is doubling down. Those are choices that Cody Rhodes is
and
making.
Here I personally believe that when you get a super patriotic tattoo on your neck of your blonde hair, blue-eyed, white neck that looks pretty reminiscent of a certain group of types of human beings that
and then you
sort
put
of
it on your
associate
mug,
with people that wouldn't be able to make that joke without it being not just ironic, but kind of gross. I mean, definitely is the guy that cured racism in America. It just, every time Cody says stuff like that, it's just a cringy thing. And then again, the context of the timing is I had to get that from Jim because I kind of wanted to mention it to you guys simply because I thought, wait, this really happened. And I need to ask you guys what really, and he had to cover it on his podcast yesterday. And of course it's like, he's not going to get into it because obviously you don't want to speak from a perspective you don't understand. It's like, did I hear that right?
Oh no, the whole internet heard it.
WWE
that's all everybody was talking about.
They never
comment.
WWE is like that place that's like, hold my beer, no matter what it is.
Well, and I think Bix made a really good point. That this is also This is also coming from a company who is currently named in a lawsuit with somebody who fetishized Black wrestlers on top of that, which of course I know that most people in WWE and most wrestlers probably don't think of that. But as people who watch the product and also cover those things, it is hard not to see that as well. But then again, as Vix also pointed out, this is the same company who did a whole skit or a whole episode basically where a woman had nudes shown without her consent. So,
which ironically is named in is something mentioned in the lawsuit,
right? And so like, and I you know, Cody obviously was not like Cody's not going to think of these things, and clearly he's not even going to think about Black History Month when he says these things. And I know Cody said it because he thought it was funny, and there are people who encourage that behavior from Cody, or they think it's funny that Cody acknowledged, we know Cody's online, but then there's also the greater context of it that I obviously gets lost. And it's yeah. And I don't.
Yeah, that's how WWE kicked off Black History Month.
Well, listen, Mel, that's the only acknowledgement we're gonna get because they're not gonna put anything up on their socials.
Not even one picture of like all of the same.
We ain't getting none of that. They don't even acknowledge it's a month. They won't do it.
So he literally said he doesn't see color. He meant at all.
At all. For any month, like there will be no Black History Month posts. There'll be no Pride Month posts. Nothing.
No. And then last night you had,
I guess white is the lack of color, right? Like on the spectrum, scientifically speaking, it is a lack of color by just pure definition. Pardon the word, definition.
But last night, though, during Kevin Knight versus Scorpio Sky, Tony Schiavone, there was they put up the Black History Month graphic, and he said AEW celebrates Black History Month this month and all year long.
Okay, that's better.
They have on February 1st at 5 a.m. They had their Black History Month post.
It was
ready. It was every single champion in AEW and ROH who was Black. They made a point. They were making a statement. Not only are we acknowledging this, we are acknowledging that we have multiple champions who are Black.
Well, and they were serious champions too. I feel like I think if anything, like they were serious champions, and now sort of like wow.
Yeah. So, and then
my little naive brain still has its moments, and I just want to slap that company. But it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. Maria says we should not be surprised. Look at the administration they support.
Totally true. I know.
And Michael said it's not great that Cody is using this kind of humor, especially considering how MAGA affiliated the Fed is. Yes. And I will call it the shout out to Mike Gilbert because he responded to a comment yesterday about how to stop calling it the Fed. They haven't been the Fed in a long time. And he responded, I mean, it wasn't a direct tweet at Mike, it was just in general, but Mike saw it and he said he called them Fed, the E, New York, defendant. And I was like, Jesus, defendant. Mike Gilbert.
Defendant.
He is the best. Like someone tried to cat him the other day about like, they were like, he said something about the Winter Olympics are stupid, and somebody quote tweeted him and said TNA podcaster, to which he answered, yeah, so I know stupid, brother. It's just like,
listen, bless Mike Gilbert. This is a Mike Gilbert fan club on this show.
Even though he's a 49ers fan, just like Garrett. Listen, he is still a good brother.
None of us can be perfect now.
Exactly, that's what I was saying. Good brother. He is a good brother.
He is a good brother.
He is one of the best. Mike uses social media right, and that's like, and he's good at it.
Unless you're Chelsea Green.
I found that to be even more hilarious because I feel like that you're so silly.
Yeah, I know it's because her and her fans got. They don't know Mike Gilbert, and I get it. But then, he had fun with it until they started saying things about his child.
Well, that's because the internet doesn't.
Yeah,
and you can't trust groups of people like. In the immortal words of George Carlin, never underestimate the power of stupid people in large groups.
Right. This is true. This is still a little bit of New Japan that we were all talking about a long time ago.
What
It will transition us into AEW. But speaking of New Japan, they did announce this week Athena is getting one of her dream matches when she faces Shuri for the IWGP Women's Championship at the New Beginning USA show in New Jersey on February 27th. And that match is for me, it would be worth buying tickets alone. That's going to be a very special match. She's been wanting to wrestle Shuri for a really long time. And Athena is clearly, obviously, she's one of the best. Shuri is one of the best. That title has a really great lineage of women who compete for that title. And so I'm very excited for that match. And also, way behind on ROH. I haven't watched ROH since like mid-December. I've got to get caught up in it, but I'm thinking of watching last week's show and then going back, because last week's show, they worked with Athena's promotion. It was Global Wars between ROH and MPX, which is her promotion. And so they had a ton of like really great matches from women on the indies, and then just indie talent that she brings in. And so that is really exciting. And I heard some really great stuff about that show. So if you subscribe to ROH Honor Club, you should go check that out. And then, because I'm going to do it. and then, yeah, I was like, I think I might just go back and watch last week's show and then go back to December where I was not watching, because Daily DDT used to be how I got it. That was basically in exchange for writing about ROH. I had a subscription, but since I am not there anymore, I didn't have a subscription. And so, but now I have access to it. I just need to find the time to watch it, since WWE takes up my time on Mondays and Fridays. And then, so I don't know if you guys heard anything that happened in AEW last week.
What do you mean?
AEW?
AEW?
What is this?
Yeah, I
What happened?
don't know if you heard about, like, literally our notes just say Brody fucking King.
After which I wrote fire.gif with a heart because I saw
saw
it in
it.
our
I
note.
see
And
that.
I was like, yep, exactly right.
They yeah, and that's why we put the man on our slate this week. AEW hasn't updated their photo album this week, and as of last night when I was looking, they still hadn't, so I had to go find. Thankfully, there were plenty of pictures on the internet of Brody King holding that men's world championship, because look, nobody calls it that since Hangman. Joe didn't call it that. Clearly, MJF is not going to call it that, but Brody King would. I know he would. He would call it that. So we had a main event title eliminator match where if Brody King should somehow defeat MJF, he would get a shot at the Men's World Championship in Australia. And it happened. But prior to it happening, which just made it even better, we had Brody King's in the ring, MJF's in the ring, and here come some lovely chants from the fans of Las Vegas. And they started chanting, "Fuck ICE," to the top of their lungs, in unison, unprompted, unprovoked. They did it on their own. I know some people I saw some comments about, like, I can't believe AEW would do that. AEW didn't do that. The people who bought tickets did that. They did it themselves because they're human beings. And also, they know that Brody King, hey, that man wore an abolished ICE shirt in Mexico. Not only that, he's raising money for organizations in Minnesota. He is active, like, he just finished selling shirts and comics with the drawing of him wearing an abolished ICE shirt. And they raised $58,000 for organization in Minnesota. So that is what prompted those chants before that match. You even have MJF acknowledge it. He briefly breaks character to acknowledge it with his face and his eyebrows. His eyebrows acknowledged it. And then they was like, all right, I got to be a heel now. and Bryce Remsburg confirmed that he waited a little longer to ring the bell to let that chant breathe and take on a life of its own. And then Brody proceeds to beat the crap out of him in 2 minutes. He hangs him over the rope and puts him in a chokehold. And then we do have an appearance from Hangman too, who came and to watch, to point and laugh. And he comes out there, and then we see Brody drop MJF's practically lifeless body to the ground, put him back in the ring, hit him with a cannonball, and then hit him with the sickest Gonzo bomb I've ever seen. And he beat him in 2 minutes. And that might be one of the most satisfying wins I've ever seen in my life.
They killed it this week. They really had a nice week of shows. Like, both shows were really on this week. That was awesome. Such an awesome moment.
Yeah, it was. And I think like it would have been a cool moment regardless of if the chant, even if the chants had not happened, it would have been a really cool moment because I think Brody is just, he's a beloved wrestler. And especially after what we saw MJF do to his former tag team partner Bandito, he got some comeuppance there. And so I think it would have been it would have been a great moment, but to have it come right after that chant, I think just made it even sweeter. It made it even better. And of course, it broke containment within a couple of hours of it happening. There were political websites on Blue Sky had picked it up. Journalists had picked it up. People who are not familiar with AEW or Brody, there were some people who were like, I didn't know that WWE did this. And fans were in the chat or in the replies, and they were like, no, this is AEW.
Different thing.
We do have Becky Lynch who has to speak in code, which I appreciate. Becky Lynch speaking in code to say to share her feelings on ice. I know you had Ava, who was The Rock's daughter, have to. She did not re-sign her contract, and the day after it came out that she didn't re-sign, she said with her whole chest on Twitter that she said, "Finally, I can say this. Fuck ice," and then she deleted her account. So that shows you how restricted people in WWE are, probably in general, but also being as involved with the White House as Paul Levesque is, Linda McMahon is, TKO is. They have to be, I'm sure it's probably, I don't know if it's a straight out, do not say anything political, or if it's a very frowned upon situation where like Becky Lynch can get away with speaking in code and nothing probably happening to her. However, an Ava has to wait until she's no longer under contract to say what she said, even though she's The Rock's daughter. She didn't feel comfortable enough saying that while she was under contract with him. And again, this was the AEW fans who said this. I mean, clearly, yes, Brody did say into the camera, "Fuck ice," and you could see him say it after he won. You could see him say it. And obviously, he wore the Abolish Ice shirt. We've had Lee Moriarty, especially on Blue Sky, has been very open about being anti-ice and anti-MAGA, at that. So it definitely, you do see kind of the contrast. But then but again, this was the fans who did that. It wasn't like Brody went on Twitter and be like, "Hey, before my match, everybody should chant this." Like, that's not what happened here. And so it definitely, I think some of it helps people to understand, because obviously people who don't watch wrestling make a lot of assumptions about wrestling fans. They don't vote. They're not political. If they are political, they agree with this side of things. And I think that showed, hey, you know what? Some wrestling how you can't judge wrestling fans by a book by its cover, because obviously,
there's more social consciousness in the wrestling sphere
right.
than people thought there was. Maybe.
And I saw so many replies about that, and they're like, "Whoa, if you've lost wrestling fans or if you've lost WWE fans," and people were like, not necessarily. Like, some fans, like, wrestling fans, this is what they believe, you know, regardless, they haven't lost us. They never had us to begin with.
Exactly.
So,
You didn't lose us. We never hated other people for no reason.
right.
Or
exactly.
because of some manufactured BS you've been feeding us for the last 50 years.
Right.
Like, it's not. It turns out we can actually, I don't know, think for ourselves and form our own opinions based on reason and facts and, you know.
Yeah. And some people.
Reading.
Yeah, and some people.
I mean, I'm
like,
just a girl. I have only a girl brain. So, you know.
Some people found the guy from a couple years ago that had the sign that said I think it was pro science, pro abortion and pro wrestling or something like that. Somebody like they found like the mainstream media. Mainstream media found that sign and they're like, whoa! It was like people were really having their minds blown this week about wrestling.
They cannot believe that wrestling fans are liberal leaning. They're shocked.
Yeah.
They're astounded by that. Like, no, where y'all been? Like, we have been this way for a very long time.
Yeah.
Listen, did y'all not look at that first Raw on Netflix when we booed Hulk Hogan out of LA? Did you not see that?
Right.
They wanted to forget about it. They certainly wanted you to forget it.
I ain't never gonna forget it. Not just because I wrote
They
about
erased
it,
it from their interwebs. They popped it down the memory hole.
Even speaking of a quick side note, I saw a post this week that Real American Beer is moving away from branding with Hulk Hogan and the commercials and stuff like that. They claimed that because they've sold 10,000 cans or whatever their threshold was, and now they're moving away they're taking their marketing in a different direction. Hulk Hogan, I guess, will no longer. I mean, could be because he's, you know, not on this earth anymore. But with AI, obviously, you can make these things happen. But I guess that's part of it. That was like, so I was like, how much of it is because he can't make new content for you, and how much of it is because everybody calls it Hulk Hogan beer and nobody wants anything to do with it?
Exactly. And then you notice if you're watching Monday Night Raw, if you look at the ring cameras, that logo is gone. They scraped that-
It
They
is
stripped it
gone.
right on off.
Even though they do have them jump scares during the commercial breaks. They'll just all of a sudden Hulk Hogan's face will pop up and
Oh my God.
Hulk Hogan, like
Calling it a jump scare.
it is a jump scare.
I
'cause
know. It totally makes sense. It's
Lord.
hilarious.
Like,
You're like,
zoomed
I
in
don't
on
want to see that. It's a
Yes,
racist.
zoomed
I
in
don't
on
need
his
that in my
face and
life.
everything.
I can't get away from them. They're just popping up on my
No.
screen.
At least
No.
once a week, like, God, isn't he gone? Why
No,
is he
Right?
being
He's
ran?
dead. He
Speaking
was
of,
dead and for really dead now?
there was a tweet the other day, and I don't know if it was engagement bait or if the person honestly did not know. But he posted a picture of Hogan, and I think it was Scott Steiner and just some random women on a beach, and they were talking about how he stays tan, and somebody was like, well, yes, he's tan where he's at. And then and somebody else said, well, that's because he's been in a cemetery since last year. And so, yeah, I don't know if that person genuinely did not know that Hulk Hogan was dead or if it was engagement bait, but Lord, some of the replies.
The community note sent me
Yes, they did have to. I
to
forgot.
heavens.
They did put a.
Oh no, I gotta hear this.
They put a community note to verify this man has been in the ground for 6 months.
Yeah.
Literally, that was the community note. And I was like, y'all ain't serious, but where's the lie? I mean, it is factually true. The man's been in the ground for 6 months.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm picturing him getting that sunburn off the brimstone, and it's just
Hey, listen, you got to leave just enough dirt open so sun can hit.
Just went there. It was
Listen,
like
so Hogan was he was ahead of his time. He did not get to have our services. I mean, he wouldn't have got them anyway. But
he wouldn't have gotten end of life
got
stuff
nothing.
from women. Are you kidding?
No, he ain't getting any of that.
We have internal genitalia. We could not handle anything related to that guy's death or anything. We're too incompetent to even be breathing right now. Frankly, I mean, 200 podcasts. What? They must all be fake. They must have all been made by AI.
Let's bring this back. Let's just bring this back to Brody King.
Yeah, Brody.
So, yeah, as Nikki, I had the same thing. Nikki said, "Do I watch that video of every time it comes up?" Yes, I do. Same. And I even posted on Blue Sky the other day. I said, no, you're watching and liking every single post from other outlets. I mean, I was liking it from wrestling outlets, but like non-wrestling outlets, I was giving them the view and the like because I have watched that thing so many times since last Wednesday. I have no plans to stop. So, yeah, we did. Yeah, the mainstream news discovering that wrestling fans are not all far-right idiots was funny. Yeah, they were just, we blew their minds this week. Yeah. And so, hell yeah. Brad says he happily contributed to that $58,000. He got his shirt in the mail earlier this week. Fuck ice. Hell yeah, Brad.
Like, right on. If I had the means, man.
Yeah, so, yeah. Last night, yeah, the Tom Brady ad for Pizza Hut was a jump scare for Nikki. We would have to pause it during Collision last night so that I could catch up on stuff. Let me tell you, we always joke about Tony Khan hating me, and boy, was it evidence last night. He opened the show with the Young Bucks match.
He sure did.
And he put in a parking lot fight for me to cover, and he put in a 3-way main event, and I had to keep pausing stuff so I could type stuff out. And I was leaving shit out because there was so much happening. And so every time we would pause it, because we were watching it on cable because it's easier to pause and rewind if I need to catch something, and then doing it on HBO Max is a little bit harder. So we watch it on cable. So every time we would pause it, if we pause it long enough, DirecTV would pop up Tom Brady's face, and it was. And me and Nikki were not having it. We were like, please stop jump scaring us with his face.
Don't do that either.
So obviously the question now with Brody is people have their thoughts about what do you do with Brody King now? He obviously has a lot of fan momentum behind him. He went viral. Do you have him upset MJF and have him take the title off of him? Do you reverse course, listen to your fan base, or do you dig your heels in and keep with whatever your plan is? And knowing Tony Khan's history, I think we know the answer to that question. Because when it comes to the main title scene, or the men, at least the men's championship, I will say, Tony typically books his several champions in advance. He's done it since day one. He has like his next 4 or 5 champions booked out. I'm assuming this is no different. But we have seen him kind of pivot with other titles. Obviously, the most famous one is when he had the Acclaim the people thought the Acclaim should have beat Swerve in Our Glory, and then they didn't. And then they straight up somebody asked in the scrum afterwards, Swerve, and they asked him like right in front of Swerve in Our Glory, should you have, given the title to the Acclaim based on what the fans wanted? And everybody was like, why are you asking this in front of the champions? And then 2 weeks later, we got the rematch, and the Acclaim did win the titles. And then you also could kind of see it. Clearly, Tommaso Ciampa was not the plan to beat Mark Briscoe. Because Tommaso Ciampa, we didn't know until last Monday.
Right.
This deal came together very quickly. From what Ciampa says, the deal came together last Monday. He debuted on Wednesday. That Saturday, he won the title. So it's not unheard of. And then you could even look at the women's title or the women's scene, because I think most of us are in agreement that the women's tag team titles were not going to go on Babes of Wrath. But then Penelope got injured and he panicked and was like, well, throw it on Babes of Wrath, even though I already have Willow planned to beat Mercedes on the final day of the year for the TBS title. And she'll just have 2 titles. So we see like where he has made some pivots, but it's never been. Let me take that back. It has not never been when there's been injuries or, CM Punk. He has pulled titles off of people. But generally, when it comes to the men's world championship, the man digs his feet in and does not move. And so I would love to see, like, seeing Brody King hold that title over his head really made me want to see that happen. And then, of course, the momentum he has, it is hard to, like, you can see, like, as a wrestling fan, like, you go with what's hot. As a wrestling booker, in most cases, you would go with what's hot. It's Brody King. but it's also Tony Khan, and you've got MJF, and you have all these people lined up for him, where you've got obviously he's got Brody. Then you have the winner of Andrade and Hangman will face him. Who my prediction is Andrade wins. He beats Hangman. They do Andrade MJF at Revolution. If I think they save Kenny for Dynasty in Canada, I think that's the plan that I see them going. You're already having, so then you have Hangman, you have Swerve, who also want that title. You also have you're teasing Will Ospreay's return. And obviously, I think we all pretty much think that Will Ospreay will probably take the title at All In at Wembley. I mean, you could also do Forbidden Door, but it's probably going to be All In. And so, do you change course and have? I mean, sure, you could have. I mean, depends on how long MJF's title reign is going to last. But assuming he's holding it until All In, I mean, you could insert Brody there. But then, like, how does that change everything else as far as who he has planned, what matches he has planned? Because I feel like he's got everything planned out until Ospreay wins that title later this year or whenever it's going to happen. And so, unfortunately for Brody, maybe he gets the national championship, or maybe he beats. I mean, you could also have maybe he beats Jon Moxley and takes the Continental title, or maybe he beats Okada and becomes the international champion. So hopefully Brody will get, I don't want to say a consolation, but that's what it's going to feel like, because I feel like, I mean, clearly the fans love him and want to get behind him. I mean, I think that's kind of what happened with the Jet Set Rodeo. They were losing Hobbs. And so we put it on 3 fan favorites. Speedball, Kevin Knight, and Hangman all have a title now because we're losing Hobbs. And so to make the blow easier, because it was the same thing that happened at All In. We lost, Adam Cole, all that stuff happened with him. And so they put the title on Dustin Rhodes instead of Kyle Fletcher, because the fans were already really low after, Adam Cole came out there. So they're like, let's put it on the hometown guy and put it on Dustin and send the fans home happy. And so, that's a choice that they made. So yeah. And I know I pretty much answered it, but do you guys have thoughts on that? And and even if they don't have Brody win the title, what do you think they do? Do you think they belt Brody with something else, or do you think they just continue pushing him, or maybe just keep him in a tag with Bandito? Or whoever would like that.
What do you think, Keila?
Ooh, so we know what Tony's not going to do. So we can just put that to bed right now. I don't have hopes. I don't have faith. I can't get myself up to believe that's going to happen. So I'm with Sam. Let's go with the consolation prize. And that's okay, because for right now, I'd rather have him belted with something versus having nothing. That this has to result in some kind of upward mobility on the roster. That's been a conversation of people staying in place for 3 or 4 years and not visually seeing some sense of upward movement up the ranks to see where you are. Brody absolutely deserves a title somewhere in AEW this year. They have 30 of them to choose from. So you pick your choice. Pick your champion and you beat their asses and you win the championship and you get that belt over and you continue to elevate other people around him in the meantime. I would love for him to win the Triple B. I would love that for me. But I know Tony Khan is not going to give me, Keila Cash, what I want as a fan of AEW to that extent. So I'm a realist. I'm going to replay the moment he choked that man out. I'm going to replay the moment he kicked his butt for 2 solid minutes. I'm going to treasure that squash match because that is as close as I'm going to get to being a satisfied fan. That's it. And I can accept that. I am willing to sit there and say, that's the best Tony's going to do for me. And that's all right. And I'm holding back tears, but I know that is the most Tony is going to do for me as a fan. And that's okay.
Oh,
I will live.
I was so afraid you were going to say that. I was like, please, Keila, give me something to hope for and hang on to. That's why I deferred to you. And you're like, we all know that he's not giving that belt to Brody. I'm like, damn it.
Mel, I love you, but I would not be a friend and a broad if I did not give you a realistic expectation of what's not going to happen.
I know. And I appreciate you for that. And that's why you need friends and family in your life so they can make sure that you don't go over here and start believing crazy shit. Because
and then get mad when you
want something in your heart. It doesn't usually. And Tony Khan is so good at doing this thing where he heats people up and makes them wonderful and makes me want that so bad. And then he's like, I'm going to do this, which means I'm definitely not going to do what you want. And so Keila nor Mel are going to get what they want, nor I think Sam, based on what I heard, how I perceived what Sam said. They've got to give him something. He's too big of a star. They've got to do something with, and he's so good at getting other people over. Brody is a selfless wrestler. At the same time, he's very good at getting other people over. He wrestles his ass off every time. Every time they've done something with him, I've had fun with it. I've not been sad. It's like I want him on my TV. So if obviously we'll have that special moment from this past week to treasure and rewatch.
Yes.
But I think that, but if you don't give him some belt out of the umpteen thousand billion to choose, I think you are really dropping the ball on potentially having someone that can help even build what amounts to your B plot, your junior division, your other guys that aren't in the mainstreams, like in the main belt scene that you still need to fill in your show as part of building the men's division in general and having undercard matches and things to do. And
they have got to do something to build the national title.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got more than, clearly they have the international title, and at some point Okada's got to drop that title. I love that man. But that title's got to get away from him.
He's Okada.
We're entering timeless Tony territory with this title and Okada. Like, he's just,
Okada doesn't need a belt to be amazing.
No, he doesn't.
He just doesn't.
He doesn't need it. And then of course, like, I like John with the Continental title. I like that Mox has been he's been having title eliminator matches, and he's of course he's finally defended it, and we get the match with Takeshita next Saturday. And so like awesome. Which will be great. And so I like what they're doing with that, but we've got to do. I like Ricochet and Jack Perry, and I enjoy their matches, but we've seen it twice. I need you. Let that title, especially since we're supposedly going to be defending that title other places, like on the indies and stuff. You could send Brody King to so many places now because people know who he is. If you see people, some people, of course not all, but there will be people who saw what happened last Wednesday. We'll see somebody like a Brody King and be like, you know what? I want to tune in to that product and see what Brody does. How do they follow up that? Brody looks cool. He looks like he beats people up.
He does fit that sort of paradigm, doesn't he?
Yeah,
for a big guy that
right. And so, and maybe it's even bringing back wrestling fans who watch when they were a kid and they're like, whoa, wrestling is this now? Like, wrestling allows these things to happen. You have a guy like Brody. So I feel like you have to build that momentum, because maybe it's only, 20 people, 50 people, 100 people that tune in on Wednesday because of what happened with Brody last week. But they know that there's this guy that's an advocate openly for something they agree with.
Oh, that's true too.
In a big wrestling promotion. So there may be people who tune in to say, hey, you know what does this Brody guy do? And so you have to build on that momentum. And I think Brody is a guy that you could put the national championship on, and you could send him out to indies, you could send him to Rev Pro, you could send him to even New Japan, you could send Brody pretty much anywhere, and I think people would be like, if you looked at an indie poster and saw that guy, they're like, God, yeah. Or you see, hey, that's the Abolished Ice guy, I'm gonna, he's coming to my city, I'm gonna go pay $15 to see what happens. I mean, you could easily, hopefully, it would translate into something like that. But
it's actually funny because Jim mentioned that his wife is now, he told her about the ice shirt, and she said, now he's my favorite wrestler. and he showed her a picture of Brody and was like, now I have to explain to my wife why this giant bearded tattooed monstrous looking man is her favorite wrestler. And I showed her and she still loves him. So
Right.
there it is right there.
Right.
I mean,
and not only that, he's also in a band. He's in a post hardcore band. Some people may not like the title of what his band is called. His band is called God's Hate, and I'm sure there's some people that might be a barrier for some of them. But I think maybe seeing right, and seeing what this man and his bandmates stand for. And to see again, and like people who were new to obviously Brody, they don't know his tag team partner is the Mexican man, is one of the best luchadors in wrestling right now, and he's been friends with Bandito for, I think they said they've been friends for like 8 or 10 years. So like he's not just being like performative with it, like that's his like.
That could affect your. I mean, this is what people aren't getting. Is this like this is affecting your? This is going to affect someone close to you, if it isn't already sooner or later. So, I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
If you care about the people you care about, you have to stand up for them somehow.
Right. Yeah, and definitely. MJF and Brody really did have good chemistry, which I think makes it even better. Not only with, I think all of it, just doing this whole, because I know some people probably looked at this and like, why is Brody King getting a title shot? But like, why not? First of all, like look at him, and he's had incredible singles matches. Like obviously the tag team was unexpected, but like, and he kind of got obviously things with Buddy Murphy didn't work out great. Oh, I think I mentioned this last week, but I am wondering for this title match in Australia if Buddy Murphy corners him and comes out to the ring with him and is out there with him, if they bring him out and let him be with Brody, just so people don't forget him. But now, I mean, also Brody did kind of have that moment of his own, so do you bring him out? But I think it would be kind of a cool thing to have him out there with him in Australia. And Curry had said if they gave what Sam wants, then we would have an AEW female main event last year. This is true.
Kayla's saying that there might be one at WrestleMania, which means that WWE is going to do it right in Tony's face. I mean,
he's done it, but it's not the first
I know
time.
That they've done it before,
obviously, because Mercedes, but they haven't done it since Sasha, obviously, since Sasha Banks and Bianca did it, but the fans had to beg for it.
Yes.
Thankfully it happened, but we had to beg for that match.
But I guess my point is like Tony, it's something that's like a thorn in Tony's side that he hasn't done yet. And so if WWE were to do that at WrestleMania, I feel like there would be a lot of pressure on Tony, more pressure to be like, hey, you're 7 years old. They've done it a bunch of times. They're doing it at their biggest
event.
At
WrestleMania, they've only done it twice, and this would be the third time, right? Yeah. Isn't that right, Keela? Okay,
that would be right.
Third time, which is still 3 more times than Tony Khan has.
Exactly. Within the last decade.
And Tony Khan has nobody to blame but himself. He has had opportunities to do it, and he has chosen not to, and that is on him, and he has to. But yeah.
I just think you bring up an interesting question. If they decided to go ahead with what Keela's talking about, and they did decide to have like one of those nights be a women's main at WrestleMania, if Tony still hasn't done it by then, or WWE has had 3 now that going on 3 WrestleMania, their biggest show of the year, fundamentally women's mains, that's going to bring up more conversation than ever. We have people bothering it. I mean, not bothering, but we have people talking to us about it. I'm not saying it's going to push him in that direction, but I don't think he's going to be able to keep escaping the question if the other company.
I don't want to put it on because I mean they could have main evented so many times.
I know.
And my feeling is whenever Mercedes wrestles for the women's title
is when they're going to do
that will be the main event.
It should be, I guess. That's. It makes
and
the most sense.
If it doesn't, then I have no other idea. Like I'm just trying to think in the way that Tony thinks about it. And he said, because he always says, well, you can't just have women main event just because. Sure you can. But he said there has to be a story. He's had several stories, like none bigger than Tony versus Mariah at the Hollywood ending. Nothing bigger than that. Just because he's mad that she was leaving, which is stupid because you're punishing your fans for that. But I was trying to, so I've, we've talked about it a lot since then. What would make him book a women in a main event of a pay-per-view for the first time. And I was like, Mercedes is the only one that I can think of that he would actively have, that it would be whenever Mercedes wins the women's title. And that may not, for all we know, that might not be till World's End in December. We're going to be doing our, next year, we'll be doing our 2026, our best of 2026 in the middle of January. And we'll finally hopefully be talking about a women's main event finally happen. And then our wish for 2027 is more women's main events on the pay-per-view. But yeah, that's Curryhead says the same thing. That's going to be when Mercedes wins the title. I feel like for him, for Tony Khan, I don't see any other. And I'm sure Mercedes has had lots of conversations about women main eventing pay-per-views, and I don't see how you don't have the biggest women's. I mean, unless obviously Tony Storm, but like one of the biggest women's wrestlers in the last 10-15 years. If you don't put her in the main event of a pay-per-view, then that's on you. Like there are no excuses for that. I do want to get to this comment from Brad where he said that he especially loves Brodito because his brother was adopted from Mexico when he was a baby, and I can be an average size scary looking white guy with a big beard. Brodito is like if we were a tag team. I love it.
That's awesome.
Yes. We did get the women's blood and guts, and I thought it was a match of the year candidate too. So I do, when Tony does things like this, I do give him credit for it, and I don't, but I also, we're cautiously optimistic, and we can want both things. Like we can want them to have
change takes time,
and we can 7 years though. Good God!
I don't make rules. I wish I had some sort of like handle on when the time. I'm pretty sure that like no one knows, and the people that say they do are just liars. They're selling you something.
Crash said an actual bro.
It's so cool. I love when you can make. The only thing that I can say about it is like I'm the same height as Marco Stunt. That's like it. I'm taller than Marco Stunt.
Oh, speaking of Marco, he is going to, because he doesn't wrestle anymore. He actually is a car salesman, and he played there was an ad. I think Fightful had it, and he did an ad for the car company he works for, and he was like tying in some of like his wrestling personality with it. It was great, and you can see that it transitions very well for him into being a car salesman.
Selling, Sam.
Yeah, he's very good. Yeah, it's great. And I think they called him. He talks about, because his nickname obviously is Fun Size, and so he like talks about fun size sales and things like that. But he is going. I think it's next month. He is having his, he's going to be in GCW. It's not, he said it's not a match, but he's having a proper goodbye to the fans. And GCW obviously is what, prior to AEW, gave him the platform to get to AEW. And so he's going there and doing something. So I was like, that's pretty cool. And then we also, when we were talking to somebody, I think it was Maria mentioned Sabu earlier, which made me think of Sandman. Sandman is having his retirement match at Joey Janela's Spring Break this year, which is perfectly on brand for both Joey Janela's Spring Break and Sandman. They have not announced his final opponent yet, but that will be coming. And then also, speaking of retirements, well, we'll get to that in a minute, because then that'll take us on a whole other thing. But I want to ask this question, or we have a question. When Mercedes wins the title, do you think she'll be a babyface, Keela?
Ooh, that's a tough question, because I think that she's better as a heel. And I just think that if she just be herself, if she's herself as a heel and not lean into being a babyface so much, that'll work a bit better. Or just have a character that just is naturally her and not try to be a good guy, that will resonate too. I don't foresee it. It's going to go by how the fans feel about it, but if she just brings in that natural charisma that I know that she does have and just bring that to the table, that's all that she needs. I don't need a white meat babyface act from her, because it will never work. It never works long term.
Sure.
Yeah,
Mel,
it's
what do
not
you
her
think?
vibe, actually. I mean, I think that you're probably right, is that she just is so much better when she's being kind of a badass dick. Like, she just on the edge. She's that heel that's right on the edge, because it's like, you're just like, yeah, she's just cranky enough without being just a full-on, just like mean bad guy. She's actually like that sort of anti-authority, like hard ass when she's picking on Bailey. And I mean, that was always like the thing that you saw that was like, and when she's like that, it makes all the other, I mean, you take a Chris Statlander, turn her baby face and have Mercedes pick on her that way, you might actually see something out of Chris you've never seen before, because I think Chris is struggling where she is right now, but I do think she has a natural baby face thing going on with her a lot of the time that you could have. I mean, and I know that Chris will be out of the picture probably by then, but the idea would be in the same idea, in that vein, where they have maybe some other baby face for Mercedes to play off of and really build that person. You could bring Billy Starks up to the main roster to AEW television. In that case, I mean, there's like younger girls that she could really help out. So.
Yeah, I think it depends on who the champion is when she takes that title. I don't think it's gonna be Stat. I don't know that.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know that Stat's title reign is gonna last much longer. And do I think she's gonna lose the rematch on Wednesday? Probably not. I don't think. I mean, they are doing a rematch really quickly. They are doing it. It is a strap match. But Tekla got her last time, and so I think Stat picks up a win here, but I still don't know that her title reign. Maybe it lasts past the Revolution, but I don't know that it lasts past Dynasty. I don't even know. I guess you could. Maybe she does get to Double or Nothing, because Double or Nothing is one of the biggest that's one of their big 4 pay-per-views. So perhaps that's where you do a title change. But I don't think it, like, I feel like it's not going to be Mercedes yet. I still think Mercedes is going to be once she starts dropping the rest of her titles. I think because Chris says, like, Chris is like, you keep looking past me. You keep looking at the title. That's all you care about. And I think that she won't even get a shot at the women's world title until she loses everything else, because then that will be her primary focus. And I think that will be the story that drives her to win that title. So I think it depends if it's going to be if there's going to be a baby face that she beats. I mean, you could do Chris. I just don't know that Chris is going to hold that title much longer. And I agree, like, Mercedes had such a hard time when she first came to AEW, where she was just not connecting with the fans for whatever reason. Even though she was connecting in New Japan, she was connecting and the Indies, she was connecting everywhere else, but for whatever reason, she just couldn't make that connection on AEW. And now that she's found it, I don't know that she lets that go to be. And like you said, she's not going to be a white baby face. That just doesn't work for her. She's just that just is not her. And so I think maybe you see it dialed back a bit, the heel part where she wins the title. Maybe it's not full on what it is now, but I feel like it would be better for her to be this version of Mercedes, as far as maybe not the belt collector, but as far as that kind of aggressiveness, the kind of things that we see from her, I think would be, and it would make for a much more interesting champion for her. Like, if she wins that title and then is a baby face, I don't know that her title reign would be that interesting. I think she would struggle. So I think she kind of has to be some version of what she is now when she wins that title. Michael says, TK said that women need a special story to main event, but for the men, they just have to be champion. Makes Hanger and Fletcher calling their belts the men's world title seem hollow. I mean, that's fair, because when you have Samoa Joe just beating champion, I mean, he's beating people who are already champions. Or you even had Hangman do that. Hangman wrestled Fletcher when he was already a champion and got it. And so, which I do appreciate. They have gotten away from that with the MJF title reign. He's not wrestling current champions, which I appreciate. Brad says Mercedes should return as a heel since she left as one, but do a story to get her sympathy and eventually take the title from Tekla. Yeah, it feels like Tekla is going to be the one to take that title, whether it's here. Maybe we do a rubber series with them, like our rubber match where we get, Chris picks up the win here, and then we do yet another. I mean, listen, we got Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe 6 times.
7 to be determined, even
Right.
without a championship on the line.
Please,
Someone must win the series.
Tony, please give me a year break. I just need at
Yeah,
least
right.
6 months. At least 6 months. Like
Yeah.
if you made Hangman and Swerve stop after 4, then I
Please.
need. And Kyle Fletcher and Ciampa on Wednesday is gonna be fantastic. Like I can't wait. Like I think obviously Ciampa's not losing that title that fast, and I don't know what my hope is that Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis reunite Aussie Open. Even if it's for one night only in Australia, because Mark's partner is injured. Kyle can't win. He can't beat Ciampa. They both need something to do in their home country. Just reunite them. Let me hear Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Let me hear that banger theme song
Yeah.
in Australia. Even if it's just for one night only for now.
I think that works. I like it. I'm into
What else
this.
do you have for them to do now? Because since Jake Doyle is hurt. So let's see here. Michael asks if losing 2 matches on back-to-back will hurt Tekla's momentum.
I don't think so. I
think if Tekla can, I guess it's justifying getting the 3rd match. But I think that you could almost have Tekla beat Chris in a way similar to the way Chris beat Tony in a really quick win, kind of a flash pin situation. Do you want to do that with back-to-back championship wins? I don't know. But you could have Tekla get, I think if Tekla beats her for the title, it will be a decisive victory. And I think that depends also, are they going to ban Sisters of Sin again and tell them, obviously last time they got, like, if you don't get involved, you get a tag title shot. So do you have, or is she going to win the title because Sisters of Sin help her, which I don't think is great for Tekla, but she is a heel and they could do that, but yeah. But what do you guys think? Do you think that Tekla losing 2 matches in a row would hurt her?
I would say a little bit, because you have to win the 2nd match. And if you want to do the rubber match of Revolution, absolutely, you can do it in LA and then really submit her run as champion. But I do not want to see her lose twice in a row, because what would be the point to justify a 3rd match at that point? Because you're already raising the stakes with the rematch going down this Wednesday. So what can you do to give me a reason to care about round 3 if Tekla loses? She must win on Wednesday, because I do think she loses a bit of her edge. You can't talk all that shit and not win. That's the thing for me. She talks a lot. And I love that, but we have to back it up with the dubs.
No, that's fair, because she's got a ton of charisma and she's great, and I think she could make a good champion, or at least a good run at this thing. But now that you're saying it that way, you're probably right, is that if she doesn't get a pretty decisive win this time, it just sort of makes all the shit she's been talking kind of feel flat when she's
right.
And she's great. I mean, she's got a lot behind her. I know she's young, and the thought could be, oh, well, she's too young. We don't want to, but she's out there owning it every time, and she's making the most of it.
She was a huge star in Stardom. Like, it's
right.
not like she's not proven herself in the same way.
Yeah.
It's definitely. I mean, even like, the same thing with Megan Bayne. Megan Bayne was really over in Stardom as well. And no, and when I said
they're sort of not doing anything with her either, and I feel like they need to.
Well, I think she's getting right.
I hope so.
Especially after they got the title shot, their Mega Bad is absolutely winning those titles at Grand Slam. They have to.
Mm-hmm.
That's who was supposed to get it in the first place. And that you have to do it there. You definitely. I mean, poor Harley's going to lose in her home country, but it's going to happen. And Fernando, if I do, when I said no quick, it wouldn't be in the strap match. It would be if they do Chris versus Tekla at Revolution, and she were to win the title. It would be a quick pin there, not Wednesday for those with a strap match. But Keela makes a really good point that it does kind of hurt her. And then there's something else I was gonna hold on, Brad. I'm coming back to your comment, but Tom, thank you We appreciate that. And thank you for being here with us. Hope you are having a good Sunday. And then so Brad said that Kyle is probably going into a feud with Okada. Probably. But you can do that after Australia. You can give me Aussie Open for one night. You can start it immediately after the match.
Yes, please.
Exactly.
Because I want what Sam wants. So give Sam what she wants.
Exactly. We can do multiple things at the same time on the same show.
Totally.
Just
chew gum and walk.
Yes.
That's right.
All that crazy stuff.
You can do both. Also, that made me laugh when Okada came back into the shot to say Proto-Okada to him. Because I was like, he's not going to call him. I was like, he's not going to call him a bitch, and I was like, oh, I should have figured Proto-Okada is what he was going to say.
Almost seems like he's living his best life right now.
Thank you.
I love that for him. I
love it too.
I
really enjoy fun-loving, like using my English that I always used to hide away because I was nervous about it. Okada is now like he's like opening up and being like, "Yeah, I can speak your language, weirdo, bitch." I love it.
I love it. He's great.
And mean, as someone who saw him at Madison Square Garden, like it's like I knew that because he actually addressed us in English when he talked to the crowd. So it's like, and he's an intelligent guy. Obviously, It was like I'm sure he can. And then I know that when Garrett interviewed him, it's not that he can; it's that he didn't really like doing it because he wasn't as comfortable. So they had a translator, and I get all of those things because I've even tried to learn that language, and it's not like learning another Latin-based language. It's like a whole other thing. So I totally understand. But now he's in a place where he's like, I'm with my friends. I'm getting my bag. I'm Okada. And he seems like he's really relaxing into the part that he's playing. And he's still my favorite. I just love that guy so much. He's the best.
He's so great. And then, shout out to Brittany Brooks last night taking those straps too. And Brittany Brooks is I know has wrestled. I believe she's wrestled with AEW before, but does she have it? I think she had a WWE tryout recently. And also, she is the partner of Chris Bay. And she lives in Vegas with Chris, and so I think that was another reason they took a look that they used her. But yeah, she's been wrestling.
Yeah, for getting enhancement match for getting squashed. That's a heck of a way to get squashed, though. Like good on her.
Yeah, and she was like they had her, and you could. I was looking down, but when they had her in place before it even started happening, she was screaming and like was already selling it and just was like selling the fear of the anticipation of getting beat with a belt. And so bless her for having to do that, because I'm sure it was not a good time.
That's a heck of a way to have to come in and do a 5-minute match. You know what I mean? It's like you're
going
to get
lasted 39 seconds.
It was 39 seconds, and then she got strapped. I mean.
Yes.
You know what? You go, girl. Put that on your resume. And
she did have she did last Saturday. She was in a mixed tag match with I think it's Jordan Oasis, I believe is his name, and they wrestled Timeless Tony and Orange Cassidy.
Nice.
On Collision last week, and so they brought Brittany back for that. So shout out to her for having to do that. And Brad says, I need Clark to pair up with Tekla on TV. Even if War Dogs are together, they can be a partner group, but I need Clark and Tekla together. They make me feel things when they're on screen together. If we are going to be like, if we're going to continue with the mixed match,
then we need Marina
then I need Clark and Tekla, because
Orange do Clark and Tekla versus Marina and Buddy or whatever.
Yuta. Oh, Yuta. Buddy.
No.
Yuta. Yeah, we could.
No, Marina's with. No, wait. Aren't they together?
Who?
Are Tekla
Marina
and Clark
is
together?
No, Tekla and Clark are together.
Oh,
Marina is married to Roddy Strong.
That's it, Roddy. That's what I meant. Yeah. I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
Let's have that match.
Yes, please.
They can all beat each other up. It'd be amazing.
Yeah, that's a good point. Michael says it doesn't help that he's seen that manhandle all three of Sisters of Sin at once. Fair point.
Yeah.
Tekla and Clark together remind me of the Body and Clyde duo and Natural Born Killers when I see them together.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, I don't Yes, they should.
It was crazy.
Listen, if Wilson gets a graphic, I think RG said that might push him over the edge. if Wilson gets that. Fernando wants to know, do we think Fletcher is going to turn babyface?
Yes.
When the Don Callis party is over,
I think he will turn babyface to leave them.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yes.
That would be my guess, is that he is eventually going to have a moment where he's like, I don't need you, I'm awesome. And
I think Takeshita is also going to turn babyface and leave.
And they will leave hand in hand. Absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna have the work husbands leave together.
They're like,
I love that.
Yep.
I need that in my life. And then they can flip the bird at Okada and say, go fuck yourself.
Hell yeah. That's perfect. Yeah. I love that. They can walk into the sunset, flip them up in the background.
They could just go be in the G1 together.
Oh my God.
I already wanted Kyle to be in the G1, but shout out to that fan who brought the sign last week, I think it was, it said Protostar for G1. Because yes, please.
God, that's Chicago. I need to know when that Chicago thing goes on sale so I can.
It has not. They haven't gone on sale yet. But
I know. Yeah,
hoping soon. Because it's a. And then I was looking apparently because I think it's July 11th, and that's a Saturday show, too. Goodness. It's not even during the week show.
Interesting. Very excited.
Yes. Alba Fire is a great fit for Grizzled Young Veterans. They've been doing that in ROH since last year. Grizzled Young Veterans was doing mixed match. They were doing mixed matches with Isla, mostly against premier athletes because they have Story Denali. And they've been doing more mixed matches in ROH since later last year, last fall, I would say. And so Alba has been with them, and I'm so glad that they used her in the parking lot brawl last night. They had her pop out. They had Myron. I was hoping Killer Kelly would be the one driving the SUV or something. I was hoping we'd get a Killer Kelly appearance. I hope she's coming in because I really like her. Yes, you know what? Same thing. I keep asking where he's at. They were talking to Roddy backstage, and I was like, "Where is Kyle? Bring him back. I miss him."
Do we need to put a milk carton and put him on it to determine where he is?
Apparently, because he came and he hyped Roddy up for that C2 match. He won the lone C2 match. And then we haven't seen him since.
And then he was injured but not injured. It was a work.
Yeah, the injured. I believe the injury. I've heard that the injury is a work which would make sense because after he was injured, John came in and just stomped his arm to death, which is a very says a work. And then there was nothing afterwards. There's nothing from Fightful or anywhere else talking about the injury whatsoever in any capacity. So I think it was.
Have you seen this man?
And the theory was that they didn't want him in the C2, and it was to set John Moxley up on the current version we see of him. And that's why he hasn't been on. But C2's been over, bro.
For 2 months. There are no excuses as to why this man is not back on television.
Yeah, and Dynasty is not until April. So don't wait until we get to Canada to bring him back. Which reminds me, I forgot this got lost way back in the comments. I believe it was Brad who asked if we think the mystery team on Wednesday is CNC.
Oh, I guess it could be, huh? I mean, they're getting ready to bring them back for Canada.
Yeah, I had not thought about that until Brad said it, but it makes sense because I've been wondering where they've been, if that's supposed to be the match we're doing here, but it almost seems like we are switching course and that the Young Bucks will be the ones to take the belt off of FTR, which I think is a great story. And I don't necessarily need Cope and Christian as champions. Yes, it would be, of course, I am one of those people that I like that, they can look at a team and be like, hey, I won tag titles here and here. And so in that sense, I don't have a problem with Cope and Christian winning the titles. But on the other hand, you also have younger teams that you could be belting that you haven't, to put it on FTR for the third time. So then are you going to have it? So it seemed like a few months ago, we talked about this, that the trajectory was FTR to CNC, and then we get CNC versus FTR CNC and Young Bucks in the dream match for All In, which they could still do. I wouldn't be surprised if that's still the plan. So perhaps it is CNC that's the mystery team, because it would make sense. They've got to get them back on TV somehow, and that would be the way to do it. And Ontario, and in Ontario, California is where the Bucks live, because they always talk about how it's like a 6-minute drive from their house.
Right.
And shout out to GOA. I've been a fan of those guys since they were in ROH. They had a really great match with the Young Bucks last night. I was glad. I knew clearly the Bucks were going to win, especially going into Ontario, California. But I thought GOA made them work for it. I thought they looked really, really good last night, and that's a future tag team. That's a team in the next couple of years you could put the tag team titles on if you stop putting them on, everybody who's like over 40. And I don't mean that to be ageist, because look at Ciampa. Last night, that main event, Ciampa was the youngest man out of those three.
Wow.
Ciampa is 40, Roddy is 42, and Claudio is 45. And Claudio wrestles like he's 25.
And does not age at all.
He sure doesn't. He's
He's
got
not
that Paul
aging
Rudd
at
gene.
25.
He looks the same.
Yes.
It must be all that coffee he drinks.
Yes, that group chat with Cena and Rollins about the coffee, it's hidden.
Yeah.
Like, how do you reverse age? How do you do that?
It's got to be like, what is he? He's Swiss or something? It's the Swiss coffee. That's it.
It's
got to be it.
It's Swiss coffee. And then, you got to look at Nana. Nana has his own coffee, and he looks great too. I don't know how old he is, but he looks great too. So maybe it is something in that.
I need to go find myself a coffee place to live.
I am not a coffee drinker, but Motor
you know
City
what?
also has their own coffee.
I was gonna say, like, my coffee company also has a lot of loose leaf teas that I think you'd like. I started trying them.
Prince Nana sells loose leaf tea. He sells tea too. I haven't gotten any of it yet, but he also, because I finally looked at his website, and I was like, oh, he has teas, and he has like various, and he has Earl Grey, which is one of my favorites. But then he had like hibiscus tea, which I also love, and yeah, he had like 7 or 8 teas. So I was like, good for you, Nana. Yes. That press slam that Claudio did on Ciampa on the announce table was insane. It was
2
crazy.
really good episodes this week.
Yeah.
And Ciampa is like, I love having him on my AEW TV.
And then meanwhile in WWE, Johnny Gargano is depressed because he lost a mask that's not his.
I mean, this man laid out on a box.
He was
addressed NXT.
Right. And that is right. And then you have Candace begging both Fraxium and Motor City to cheer him up, and Chris Sabin was like, no, he's been a dick to us. That's basically what he said. He was just like, he said it in the WWE way. But he's
but he's Chris Sabin, so I'm sure he was able to say it properly.
He said just enough. Like, that was like, I'm glad to let him show off the personality more, because I did laugh legit at that. Finally,
they are funny.
They are hilarious. Funny. Please, if you have not already, when this show is over, go subscribe to the Motor City's YouTube. It's I think it's like MGTV, and they've been doing Q&As with them, and they're so funny. Which I knew before, but I've missed seeing their personality because they don't get to show it very much on WWE programming, and they are hilarious. And then they made because they have their own a local coffee place in Detroit sells
very local, like 20 minutes from me. I still need to get over there.
So they made like a little commercial for it, but then there's like a behind the scenes thing of it, and it's like they're both like really hilarious together. And then just like they've been doing like also like fans leave like Q&As for them, and so they've done a series with Alex answering questions, but now they're getting to the Sabin portions of them, and sometimes I forget how funny Chris Sabin is. So I highly recommend, and the videos are short, they're like 3 minutes, and they also
were in the coffee company one, and them like working at the coffee company and all of that was absolutely hilarious. I just still got to get over there. It's so close to us that I need to go over there just because I'm like, yes, yep, it's a local place.
They almost got me the other day because they were like, I think it was like the next 50 bags purchased, they would autograph.
Oh wow.
that I had to remind myself I already have their autograph.
Okay. Yep.
And I don't need coffee that I'm not going to drink. I mean, I thought about having it just as a collector's thing because obviously I've been a fan of theirs for a really long time, and Chris Sabin nearly got me. So, and I came very close to it. Then I ended up not getting, because I was like, well, I have a couple of their autographs already. And then now I'm kind of like, well, now I kind of want the coffee just to have it in my collection, and I'll just never open it. It'll just sit here on my shelf, I guess. But Brett said, did Motor City have an official retirement match, or they just retire quietly and disappear from existence? No, they've been wrestling on Main Event.
Yes.
They had a match on Main Event this would have been a dream match at the time, because they were wrestling Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, except it's the current version of those two who are British men pretending to be Mexican. They are under mask.
Yes.
They have been with El Grande Americano as his Bravo and Rayo. They wrestle under mask. They wrestle in AAA. I believe Pete also trains down in AAA, right? Is that correct?
He does. He's a producer too.
Right. He's a producer down there. Why
did they name themselves after a Starbucks item?
That is a great question, Mel. We wish we could have the answer to that, but we don't. And
maybe because Motor City has their own coffee, they're like, hey, we
can help with your rebrand too.
Right. They right. We don't just do end of life services. We also help with branding and marketing.
Right. Yes.
It's what we do. That's what we do.
We're diversified.
As Mark Henry says, it's what we do.
It's what we do.
We have a diverse portfolio of services that we offer.
So I didn't see, because when I watch, so some of the people that I watch Raw with on Mondays that I work with, they watch via a stream, an international stream or a VPN of sorts. But apparently during one of the commercial breaks, they had Bravo and Rayo speaking broken English while wearing their masks, their luchador. And I just want you to remember when Pete Dunne said with his whole chest that WWE would not ruin the UK indie scene. And now this man is wrestling he's on TV under a mask pretending to be Mexican.
I could have gone my whole life without knowing that about Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, probably.
It's so sad. So that would have been a dream match had it actually been
2018.
Well, even just Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate as themselves on TV. Like, I would have been here for that, but
they've wrestled some of the best matches that I saw in those times.
And now they have to deal with them, Johnny Gargano. You had your 9 months that you could have left, and you chose to go back to WWE, and now Tommaso Ciampa is winning titles. His first.
And you're a venti latte with.
And you are. And Johnny
sauce.
Gargano is stealing masks from somebody. And that's been his whole gimmick. And Candace doesn't wrestle because she's too busy helping Johnny keep a mask that doesn't belong to him. And then I was thinking about it Friday night. I was like, now we have one less tag team. So can we please bring Street Profits back to TV? And
pretty please.
But even though I would love them on SmackDown, Raw desperately needs tag teams. So Lord. I kind of would just rather them go there. But tag teams don't exist much on Raw as they do on SmackDown. And even on SmackDown, they don't really exist right now because the women's tag title scene thankfully exists. But then at the expense of Julia and her US title, and Jade, who has been champion for 100 days and has yet to defend her title. But she's finally defending it next Friday against Jordan Grace. Finally. After 100 days, over 100 days as champion, she'll finally be defending that title. So That's what's happening over there. And since we are speaking about WWE, we will also confirm that, or we will talk about Big E confirmed his retirement a couple days ago on Twitter. Well, first of all, I take that back. He confirmed it in an interview, and then he went on Twitter and had a really nice tweet talking about his career and the multiple injuries he's had, and he feels great, and he's lucky that he feels so good, and he feels for the people who are wrestlers who are struggling with injury. And so he is done. I'm glad that I had been, I guess, because I've just been thinking, when I talk about Big E, I consider him retired prior to this, but I'm glad that he finally feels comfortable enough to say, you know what, I am retired. I'm not coming back. And I wonder if there were people who thought he was, whether seriously or not, there were people who thought he was coming back in the Rumble. And so I don't know if that finally made him be like, you know what, I got to let these fans down gently. I got to tell them I'm not coming back. I'm done. I feel healthy. I feel good. I can't get back in that ring. So
I remember right. It was his C2 that he broke, right? It was like a neck.
It was the neck. I can't remember the disc off the top of my head.
It was very close to the top, if I remember right.
Like we are very lucky that
he's alive.
That he's alive. That he's able to.
I mean, they basically. I remember right. The doctor said that it was a combination of the strength of his neck and the fact that he just landed right. That he wasn't paralyzed or potentially not with us anymore.
Right.
And so when I heard this, and I feel the same way as you. I think for a long time after I heard of that, and then he kind of didn't come back, and the nature of that kind of injury, I was like, I kind of considered him retired too, but I'm with you. I read his retirement post, and it made me feel. I was like, yes, thank you. I wish that maybe it'd be great to have him come out and maybe get the pop, the cheer.
He does work for WWE still. Like he does before on the pay-per-views or PLEs, he does the pre and post show. He's on the panel.
Okay,
so he's still very active with them. And I believe didn't the NFL just hire him for some show? I feel like I saw something this week that he's going to be doing a football show or something. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but because he was active in the NIL recruiting that WWE does as well. Like they were sending him out there because obviously before he played college football before he became a wrestler. And so they were sending him out to recruitment, things like that. So he is still very active with WWE and doing other things as well. And so I'm just glad that he's able to do those things. And
he's healthy and here.
And I hate obviously the way his career ended, but I'm just glad that he's still here and he left. And he had a lot of really nice comments and people just talking about like how much he meant to wrestling and how much they enjoyed watching him and things like that. So I'm glad that he's getting his flowers in that way. I don't know. I mean, perhaps one day New Day gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. And then maybe that's where he gets his flowers on TV. But he is at least getting them online, which obviously he is.
My physical therapist, her husband, they ran their place together. He was like a huge WWE fan. And I remember she got him a cameo for her birthday from Big E. And it was wonderful.
I'm sure it is well worth.
Oh God, yes. Whatever she paid for, I was like, that's what I love about those guys. Like the New Day, all of them. I mean, but they have, and I mean, I like they're in the video game community as well. So I've gotten to see that sort of funnier video game nerd side in them a little bit. And great. He's one of the top guys. Like he'll always be someone that I just like think about and just like he's awesome. He was great. New Day was amazing. I'm so glad I got to see them live, like in a real stadium. Got to see Kofi win that, championship. So it's good luck to Big E. I hope that he has a healthy, fun future going on with him. And I know that he's a beloved figure as far as I can tell by most wrestling fans. I don't think you can find many people that know anything across I don't care who you're fans of.
Right.
He's just one of the good ones.
Yeah. for sure. Thank you. Fernando also said farewell to Madison Rain. Yeah, she had her retirement match on ROH with Deanna a few weeks ago, and she said that's how she wanted to go out. Her and Deanna have been friends for a really long time, and that's just, she wanted to do it in ROH, and she wanted to do it with Deanna. So it's nice when wrestlers can go out on their own terms. And they don't need our services to help them. But now we're here. We can help them with that.
After the retirement.
Yes. And then also Kelly Kincaid announced a couple of days ago that after, I believe it's February 14th, she will no longer be under contract with WWE. She does commentary in NXT, correct? Or not commentary, but backstage segments?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. And she used to be in ROH when they were with Sinclair. She used to do the backstage stuff with them, and she used to do stuff she has really good chemistry with Ian and Caprice, and some people are wondering if she'll go back to ROH and do the backstage stuff. I mean, Lexi Nair is the one who does that there, but obviously they use Lexi a lot on AEW television as well, especially Collision. So I think that they could definitely find a place for her there. But that's interesting that they had both her and Ava leave very close together. Obviously very different roles for the two of them. But yeah, that and then I saw somebody, because I don't follow her, but she came up in my timeline. Somebody was like, why would you put that on social media that you're leaving? We don't care about that. And she was like, disrespectfully, no. Like, I'm gonna talk about it. I was like, I mean, we know people on the internet are weird. But
like, you ain't gotta respond, keep scrolling, but since you want to get in my business,
seriously,
I'm gonna let you know it was not my choice to leave, and I have the right to tell you that.
Right yeah
on.
Exactly. Why you're not? And we know how WWE talk, they paint pictures of things, and so
you should
say, hey, my contract wasn't renewed, I'm leaving.
It was not my choice.
Case in point, our truth.
Hello. And then they try to say, listen.
I was about to say, and then you have Unreal and Paul Levesque trying to say, we didn't fire him, that's not what happened. And our truth is like, well,
that's how I interpreted it. And so
I'm
going.
Right, exactly. This is what my agent said to me. This is why I thought they were firing me. So yeah, I went on Twitter and said I got fired because that's how I thought, that's how it went down to me.
Oh God.
If you're not renewing my contract, what is that?
Yeah, right.
That is the meaning of me being let go. So therefore, I'm going to go on my socials and let you know, if you don't see me on television anymore, it's not my choice.
Right.
What you do with that
God
is
forbid.
what you will. And what they did with that was I got hired back in 6 days.
Yeah. And then we pretended I was going to be Ron Killing. And then that didn't. And then I cut my hair on, I had that really dramatic, very cool moment. And then we went right back to what we were doing before.
Yes.
Now he's talking about his balls on TV every week.
Goody. Just the world needs.
There has not been an update on Jay White that I have seen. I don't think I think my guess is it's going to be a while. I don't know. Yeah, Maria says she hopes Anna Jay stays in AEW. I'm sure there's going to be some speculation because yesterday Harley Cameron posted a picture of her and Anna Jay, and then there was also a picture of Anna Jay, Harley, and Charlotte Flair. But I think there's a bunch of wrestlers in San Francisco for the Super Bowl, and MJ, there was some stuff with MJF and Rollins. There's like a picture of them kind of doing a stare down type of thing. So they're both out there. But I'm sure the intranet is gonna do what they do and see Anna with Charlotte and be like, Anna Jay to WWE confirmed, and maybe so. But Harley was also in that picture, and Harley's still very much under contract. So, and then speaking of people who are rumored to come to AEW, is the rumor that was going around this week is that the former Iconics, the current Inspiration, that they are AEW Bound. They finished up TNA on the dreadful first episode of TNA on AMC. I missed that. I saw a bit of the match and then I turned it to Grey's Anatomy, which I felt bad turning it during the women's match. I was being that person. But then from what everybody was saying, that was a match that happened. It was apparently not a very good match. Some people they believe the inspiration have regressed in TNA. I don't know how much of that is the booking, and how much of that is them. So I am concerned about them in the AEW tag team division because they might get eaten alive in that women's tag team division, especially if they're wrestling people like Mega Bad.
Yeah. Not sure how that would go.
Let's pray they make the proper business decision. Now, in the event they do go to AEW, and we're going to pray if they do. If they do, then they need to team up with their Aussie sister, Hurley Cameron. That'll be a great trio. And they can back her up. Because if they're bringing not their best to the ring, y'all can be great managers. And y'all can take great bumps from Megan Bain. You can do that. But as a team, I have questions.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and I definitely don't want to see that. I don't even want to see them. I don't even want them sniffing that tag team title until I've seen them do something.
Yes.
Because that to me
they have not
is literally like, if you do that, you're just like putting the stake in it. You're you're coming full circle in the worst possible way.
Yeah.
I don't even want them in the hunt. I don't want them near the tag team titles. That was like the mistake that the other company made in the first place. I know when I heard that yesterday, I was like, just my feeling brain went into hyperdrive and was like, they better not get those tag team titles. They better not get anything. So that's how that was my knee-jerk reaction when I heard that was a thing. So I just don't do it, Tony. I swear to God. I might have to come at you as Stephanie Shipley at that time.
Now, Mel, you know that Tony has a roadmap and a plan and contracts already drawn up. He does not care about our feelings. He says, I am going to go iconic because I am inspired by this team for reasons. Two puns for the price of one. I had to go there.
Yeah, I appreciate that. No, I loved it. Thank you for that. We needed it. Because and you know where they're at next Saturday. They are in the home country.
Oh, it's see, Sam has spoken into existence.
Tony, I just watch Tony Khan.
Sadly, we all know Tony's brain. It's the same thing as with Brody.
Let's get that contract drawn up. It's already signed, notarized. It's done.
Somebody go prepare RJ City for the graphic.
Yes. Get him on it right now and just say the inspiration are all elite. It's iconic. And Tony's going to use those two words in his tweet. Will.
He totally is.
What an iconic and inspirational signing I just made.
When I see that, I'm so iconic. I'm gonna be like, Keela's smarter than Tony, damn it.
I am excited for the Brawling Birds.
Yeah, I like that.
I love the name. I love Jamie and Alex together. I think this was smart. And if we're going to have Mega Bad be the champions, these are the women who need to be coming for those titles.
Heck yeah, that'd be a great match.
If we're going to build up this tag team division like we've been talking about, we need those women going for the titles, not the inspiration, at least not yet. But if you're not even going to,
there's nothing iconic or inspiring about that outcome.
If you're not even gonna let Ty and Anna, who were your unofficial first tag team,
yes,
and
the inaugural
those titles since being in the being in the tournament, then you do not need to let the inspiration near those titles either. And I don't say that to be mean or harsh, but I just say that we got to build them titles up, and the inspiration being in the title picture is not it. Not now. Not on February 8th, or not even I guess February 14th.
No.
Not February 14th, 2026.
No, I'm not inspired by this at all.
No.
Yeah, for real. Let's get Lena Cross. Yeah, I've only seen her once. I saw her at DPW's last Charlotte show, and that was the one I was talking about. Her moniker was biggest bitch on the indies because she's really tall. So I'm ready to see what she does. They allegedly I think Tony, the rumor was he signed her a couple months ago, and I think she's done. Again, I'm behind on ROH, so I can't remember. I don't know if she's been on ROH yet, but I've heard good things about her, and we need her against Megan Bayne. Fernando said it's going to be an iconic era that's going to be epic. You mean elite?
New elite, epic, iconic era. I can't. It's too many adjectives. I can't.
Perfect for Tony. Justified. Somebody tweeted the other day and said they had the fuck ice clip and said justified fuck ice chants. And
well done, person on the internet. Doing it right.
I was like, oh, this is the perfect execution of that. Thank you for that.
Yeah, interneting properly.
Yes.
Please do that, folks.
Yes. Brawling Birds is a great name. Very
yes,
British.
It is.
Yeah, it fits them perfectly. I love it.
Internet responsibly.
Yes. Nikki said we ain't using something like Mega Problems or Mega Bad. No, they're like, we're going to be Brawling Birds. Don't be trying to put that. I know it's the play on Mega Powers. I get it, but
I like Brawling Birds is cool.
I do kind of like Mega Bad more than I like Mega Problems, though. Mega Bad I kind of like it a little better, but they're still not ideal, especially when you have the names like Brawling Birds and Babes of Wrath and Sisters of Sin. Like, those all sound like badass tag teams.
Yeah, they do.
Where maybe not so much with the Mega Bad or the Inspiration.
Been done, folks. Let's not try it again.
Yeah, and I think that brings us to the end of our show. Sorry, we're making us sound like haters on the way out.
Nah, we're not.
Oh, speaking of being a hater, I have to bring this up really quick. So Friday, I was doing the loved hated column, and I was like, guess I can love. They had 3 women's matches. And I'd submitted it and already clocked out. My editor messages me, and he said, you know this was supposed to be a loved, right? Because apparently I was being a little too much of a hater. And didn't mean to. It just came out because I was talking about how Jade had not defended her title in 97 days. And I had mentioned that it was not great that the U.S. champion got pinned in a tag match with the tag champions. And I could not stop laughing after I read it. And so I told Nikki, I was like, I have to go back and fix this because I offered, I was like, I can edit it, it's not a problem. And he was like, so I just took out a couple sentences and added in that, which I did appreciate. I will give SmackDown credit for this and give WWE credit. They did feature 11 women wrestling on Friday night, and they were not all crammed in one match, and it wasn't like a Royal Rumble, a mini Royal Rumble. There were 3 separate matches. One of them was a title defense. One of them was a qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber. And then one of them led to the eventual title match we will have between Jordan Grace and Jade Cargill next week. So I will love that they did put 11, because Tony Khan probably will never have 11 women on one card that aren't all in one match.
I'm sorry.
Unless it's an all women show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you dreaming real big now.
You
dreaming.
She's putting the fantasy in fantasy booking now.
This is for my best of 2028 and what I would like to see in 2028. 11 women on one show, not all crammed in a multi-women match or a cage. I mean, I do love blood and guts, but like,
Yes.
But
can we get 3 separate matches involving a different group of women in different settings on the same
giving
show?
them all time. They all got time. They all got several minutes. They were not squashes. They lasted longer than 3 minutes. They carried, in some cases, storylines forward. I mean, yes, Julia got buried even more than she already is, but but in other cases, like, so can we get 11 women?
Is this the Bernstein Bears future or the Berenstein Bears future?
God, and if you know about those bears,
No.
Yeah, just Google it and get the history on the bears, and then you realize, should I really show this to my child? No, you shouldn't. You should never, not ever. They look cute, don't they? They're demonic. They're demonic.
I haven't gone back in such a long time, but now that you're saying it, I don't know that I want to look.
No, like in hindsight, when you get the true background and how these books are dragged in hindsight, yeah, cute bears, demonic.
Oh no.
Demonic.
And, potentially existing in 2 universes.
Yes.
Which is scary enough.
Yes.
Michael, you're not wrong. That TK won't even have 11 women in a week.
Hey,
if you combine Collision and Dynamite together, you will not get to 11.
No, and that, I forgot this was going to be a potential topic, and then I didn't write it down on our notes, and so I forgot about it until he mentioned the 11 women in a week. I saw a theory from someone the other day that they believe that in the near future, Dynamite is moving to 3 hours a week. That's why Tony is signing all of these people. And so I was like, when I saw that, I was like, so Dynamite will get 2 women's matches? And then Collision will get 3?
Sam, you know what you sound like right now? You sound like the one-away game from The Price is Right. Did I get 4 women's matches right? And you want to hear that horn, and then when you hear silence, you're like, shit.
That is so accurate. He said, Michael said plus ROH.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. It's how Sam said it, and I went there, and it was like, it's giving one away.
I love you.
One of my favorite games, because when that horn doesn't sound after try number 3, you know something went horribly wrong.
Yeah, you do. It's so bad. It's so right. Oh, Lord. Damn you, Tony Khan, and your consistency.
He's like, y'all still gonna go out as haters on your 200
I can set my stopwatch by how accurate he is.
Oh, listen, he is the dead clock that's gonna be right multiple times a day. He is never gonna be wrong. He will never let me down. That's a prop bet you can always get money on. Tony Khan doing things you expect him to do.
Ain't that the truth?
In a world
we
full
are
of
gonna plant the seeds.
inconsistency, Tony Khan is the baseline. Yikes.
Kenny and Swerve is gonna be a banger, though.
Yeah, it is. That's gonna be wild. I'm excited for that. I think Grand Slam's gonna be good. I hope Revolution really kicks off the year well.
Man, I thought about it today. I was like, more proof that Tony Khan hates me. He is gonna make me cover Collision and make me cover Wheeler Yuta.
Getting his head shaved?
Yeah. It's like, that man, straight up. I was like, that man, he really does hate me. You asked that one question about Thunder Rosa that one time.
That's
And-
it. You're burned forever.
And he's like, I want to make her cover Wheeler Yuta into that shape. Because it'll make her mad. Because he's like, hey, I'll give you a parking lot brawl, but I'm going to add 8, but it's going to be 8 people. And
It's because he knows you can't ask him questions anymore.
oh no, I'm gonna find a way on that Revolution call, my guy. I have
Yay.
whether it's representing this very podcast.
Oh,
or
yeah.
Or
Hell yeah.
If it's well, I have to ask.
Hey, we've been on the air for 4 years. We have a network. You could potentially get press
Yeah.
credits.
So and if or I'll have to talk to Wrestling Inc. and ask like, am I worthy of
Don't tell him that.
representing
He
you?
thinks you can't ask him questions. Let him live with the illusion.
I will find it. Yes, he did.
Dark horse.
He
Sam's
did
a dark
take-
horse.
He did take the question wrong, and then he got mad about it.
You are a girl.
Yes. Nikki is correct. He did make me laugh until I cried, which does not take much. No. I was laughing at when Miles told me I was being too much, basically told me I was being too much of a hater the other
That's
day.
pretty
I
funny.
laughed.
He's like, Sam,
He said it
sweetie.
nicely. He said it. He's like, this is supposed to be a love, right? And I just died. Like, I could not stop laughing. And I was like, I didn't mean to be a hater. It just came out.
It happens. It happens to the best of us. Sometimes you get to write
I'm
and it's
so
a way
used
to.
to writing hated about what I just watched in WWE that even my loved was a hate. But I fixed it. Crash said, is House Rules on TV or is it a house show? I believe it's an actual house show, but I won't be surprised if we see it. I don't know if this would be and I assume they're going to do a Global Wars ROH type deal too, like they did last year. But as far as I know, House Rules, the Sunday show, is for the people of Australia. It is, but I won't be surprised if we somehow see, not just from the fans, obviously, but if we see footage that makes it to television. But then again, they aren't promoting, as Michael mentions way back in the chat, they have not promoted Athena versus Shuri on AEW programming, so who knows? But they might show if Wheeler Yuta has a Wrestle Ball the next night. They might show that. But I do have a friend who has a theory. Is that Yuta and there's a double pin and both Yuta and Marina lose their hair.
She could rock it.
She absolutely could. I just think it would be way funnier if Tony did, and Tony had to wear all these.
Well, I do
as we
too,
talked
and I
about last week with the
for
wigs.
wearing a bunch of crazy wigs, but I don't think
Yes.
it's happening because of Orange Cassidy.
Well, it's only who gets pinned. That gets shaved.
okay.
So
Fair enough.
if Tony gets pinned, Orange keeps his hair,
Perfect.
and if Marina gets pinned, Yuta keeps his hair.
Got it.
But that's why his theory was a double pin,
That could
which
be
led to
interesting.
both of them losing their hair. And because she told, first of all, she regretted it. She was like, why did I do this? And Orange was like, yeah, this was dumb. And then she was like, but it's fine because we're going to win and they're going to be bald like John Moxley. And Claudio.
That would be interesting if all the Death Riders were rocking that look.
Not
Or mo-
Pac,
or
though. Not
We'd have
Pac.
to
Don't
like
make-
Danny'd be the only one.
We have to
hair.
have Pac is we already lost Pac's long hair and now it's getting to the place where it's longer and I like that look on Pac. I don't think
Yes.
I don't know that I can handle a bald Pac.
No,
Again,
no,
no.
we've already come back from the brink. So
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
we
was
got
close,
pushed
yeah.
real close. Maybe is that what inspired Tony? Was he was like, Pac cut all his hair off. Wouldn't it be funny if Yuta shaved his head bald and was like, let's make it a match. So Pac, this is on you. Michael said as long as it's not orange, he's okay. He's the boring choice. I like orange. Orange's hair suits him. It would
I
be,
like it.
but I like how he kept like they all have because Yuta has been too, but even Orange was like grabbing at his hair like,
I love my hair.
I can't lose this. And then
Can't
John
lose my
Moxley's
hair.
on commentary last night talking about how losing hair or having like your hair is really important to a woman. Like Gotta be careful with that. Shout out to John Moxley. It was great on commentary. Brad says that I know Tony is the big face, but she doesn't lose anything from taking the pin. Same with Orange. Marina could get the big win here. That's kind of where I was at with it last week. Tony is the least obvious of the four, but Tony would sell the hell out of not having hair and then having to wear multiple different wigs. But knowing Tony, that's not what's going to happen. It's going to be Yuta. Yes. Crush said he's our bastard, said none of the Death Riders after a Grand Slam hair versus hair match. Yes. An unhinged bald Tony would be fun.
Oh, yeah.
I would love it. And with that, we will send you to get ready for the Big Bunny concert that happens in the middle of a football game. Mel is like, I'm here for the Seahawks, hopefully. And now I'm here. I hope the Seahawks win because they're a really good team. I hate the Patriots. And I put money on the Seahawks.
All right. Well, I hope you win money on the Seahawks.
So, and then I'm just really here for, I just know that the scream you will hear if Bad Bunny hits a destroyer in the Super Bowl halftime.
It's coming from Charlotte, somewhere in the Charlotte area from Sam.
Yes, and I can hear it right next door.
Oh, yeah, you're pretty close.
Yes. I can hear the Sam quake from here if she screams. If there's a destroyer hit, and it has to be to Dominic Mysterio. That is the caveat. It must be to Dirty Dom.
I am here for it. Listen.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. I need it.
Why not?
Please let it happen. And then if you hear it, then I know Mike Gilbert would hear it because he's a little bit closer.
He's even closer.
But I need it.
Sam Quake. I love it.
But yes, thank you to Garrett for stopping in earlier. Thank you for Keela for hanging with us all show long and for becoming abroad with us. And we appreciate your time all the time. And you were specifically requested for this show.
True.
You were last week. You were specifically requested, and I was like, Keela can come 7 weeks in a row if she wants to.
True.
I was like,
anytime.
Keela is watching the Puppy Bowl on a delay and missing the Olympics to be here with us. And that truly means a lot. So we appreciate that. Did he really? Oh, God. Drake put $1 million on the Pats. Congrats on your win, Mel.
Well, Mel, it's a slam dunk now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Drake, for doing that.
Shout out, Drake, if I win some money off of this football pool today. Yeah.
I hadn't go beef with someone else. I can't wait.
Yeah.
And lose said beef and lose it.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah.
And they keep filing lawsuits, and even though the judge was like, "Get out of my sight with this," and he's like, "No, I'm gonna refile this."
Okay, that's sore loser level. Come on.
Did he? Yeah, he's on the same label or parent company.
You know what? Accept defeat like a man,
and the judge was like, "Get out of my sight. We're not doing it."
You need to accept defeat like a man.
And he came right back. Him and his lawyers are like, "No, they missed the point, and we're doing." Yeah, so that's what he's doing. That's what he's spending his time doing.
Glad I don't cover that.
Thank you, Fernando. Maybe you never know.
We do our best.
Yes. Yes, and then we will, as we talked about, we'll give you more details. We'll obviously be back at our normal time next week at 1:00 next Sunday. We will also have, we're getting close to our anniversary, so we'll have anniversary show details soon, and Keela's more than welcome. I mean, she didn't have to come on, and she can come next week if she wants to, but we do have an anniversary show coming up, and so yeah, we'll be turning 4, but you can come back for episode 201, and we can cry about you having his head shaved bald and Brody King not winning the title. But hopefully we'll also be talking about Mega Bad winning the tag team titles. And who, knock on wood, we never know what's going to happen in wrestling. And maybe we'll be talking about women main eventing WrestleMania before Tony Khan has women main event.
Again.
Pay-per-view. So, We shall see, but come back next week and join us some more in the chat. And thank you guys again for being here for whether it's been all 200 episodes or anywhere in between. We truly appreciate you.
Very much. Thank you guys so much. Have a great week. Thank you, Keela, for being here.
A pleasure.
Guys, check out the
always.
wrap. Don't
Yes.
forget to check out
We are
the
now
wrap.
live on Monday nights, right after Raw.
Yes.
You guys are troopers.
To endure that and then go live. Yes,
I
we
know.
are.
Yes.
These are your rock stars here, people. If you need
We
it.
try our very best.
You
You,
guys
know,
rock.
we do. So we're
Yes.
looking forward to covering the show tomorrow after Monday Night Raw. I'm sure that Bad Bunny's going to get a plug on the show because rumor has it he's coming back very soon. I saw the word.
Oh,
I saw the
Alan,
word.
There's rumor. Yep, there's rumors he's headed back to WWE because somebody. Oh, after Ruben Gallego, one of the senators, tagged Tony Khan and told him to bring it back Bunny to AEW. WWE was like, "Oh, wait. Please
You
don't
can't do
Levesque-
that. We have to do that.
It wasn't Paul Levesque. It was Nick Khan. Listen, what Paul's doing right now at the White House does not reflect my views. But Bad Bunny, you come on back in.
Right? Yeah.
You know it wasn't Paul. Nick got on that phone like, Benito. This is Nicholas Khan on the phone.
Yeah.
The other Khan.
The other Khan. Yeah, you know that too. He lit
Oh,
up
it's
Benito.
You know who Paul.
capitalism
Because
is
it was not
this.
Paul. It was, Nick is the damage control
He
guy. Let me
said-
get on the phone right now.
If Nick's on the phone with you, you aren't in trouble.
Nick Khan said, "Let me have some of that hotline bling and call you on my cell phone."
Oh. Okay.
Call Benito on his cell phone. Please
On the
call.
main line, like, listen, this ain't Paul talking. This is Nicholas Khan calling you to let you know I'm not with that. I'm just a go-between. I'm not for that. I'm just a guy that's just trying to damage control. How much money you need? Can we sponsor your concerts?
That'll be a new era.
That would be the new era, the Benito
Right.
era.
Yeah. Yes. Brad says, oh, he claims that he's heard the rumors are not true. Dave said he would be surprised to see Bad Bunny brought back, and everyone said that was happening. We shall see.
Wouldn't
If there's a
surprise
way
me.
to get him to AEW, Tony Khan, you make it happen. You throw money at that
Why
man.
not?
Especially after what happened last week.
Heck yeah.
Have that man. Let him come. Listen, Mom Donnie was out here at an AEW show the last time they were in New York. Just invite. Bad Bunny doesn't have to do anything. You just invite him to the show. It's fine. He doesn't have to. I mean, if he wants to do a destroyer, then you pay him to do one. But
I'm with it.
yes, okay.
All right.
So we're leaving for
really
real
going
this
this time. You guys have a great Super Owl. I'm not calling it the big game.
time.
And we will talk to you next week at 1 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Keela. And thank you, everyone. 200 episodes in the can.